Cornelia, Athens, Gainesville. This is the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON. Presented by Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. From NASCAR to local tracks, it's everything you need to know with your host, Georgia Racing Hall of Fame announcer, Charles Head.
Yeah, we're ready for this. Are y'all ready for this? That's the big question coming up tonight. Y'all ready for this? Logan Bennett's ready for it. Hey, Logan, how are you?
Hanging in there, man. How about you?
Logan is behind the microphone tonight and behind the camera if you have to be watching on Facebook. But in front of the camera tonight is my buddy Steve Newbold. He is here from Atlanta Motorsports Park. He's going to be the co-host. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Man, it's going to be fun. I can't wait until we get into this.
And you got some great news, man. Tell them what your new news is.
So my new news, guys, is that I have graciously accepted a position to basically audition at Dixie Speedway this weekend, Saturday, to be the new Victory Lane announcer.
That is the coolest thing, man. I tell you what, to be at Dixie and to be the Victory Lane guy working with Johnny Clark, outstanding. So anyway, that's going to be a great thing. We got a lot coming up here, so stay tuned. Clay Walker's coming up right now. Let's check him out on My Country 99.3 WCON. It's Clay Walker time.
All right.
So now we're on Facebook. Now we can talk.
Oh.
I got to turn these up a little more. I need a little more volume. Is that too loud for you?
Oh, no, that's perfect.
Okay, that's good. All right. So anyway, we're talking about Steve. Steve announced with me at Atlanta Motorsports Park. He has moved himself into the tower. He has actually replaced me.
I can't replace you, Charles. There's no way I can do that.
That may be good, may be bad. Anyway.
No. There's no way I can replace the Charles Head. You're an icon in the industry, and it's kind of hard to even say that I'm in the same ballpark as you, let alone the same ring.
When you've been around a long time, people think you're good. I think that's the case. Anyway, Brady Cornett's watching right now. Brady's coming up on the program in a little while. I tell you, that youngster is just, man, he's setting the world on fire. Finally got the monkey off his back. We'll talk about that later. So let's talk about what you got going on. You're at Atlanta Motorsports Park this weekend. There's a big double header kind of thing going on this weekend.
Yes, sir. There's a kart race going on this weekend, double header. I believe it's round 3 and 4 of the AMP Summer Kart Racing Series. It's going to be very, very entertaining. I don't know the kart count at the moment. If I had to guess, we've been breaking records every weekend. It was 164, I think, the weekend before last, before the CKNA event, and it's been very difficult to keep up with all the kart racers.
Yeah,
I mean we're looking at some crazy amount of drivers attending. With the CKNA event, I believe it was right at like 180, maybe more. I can't remember the exact total. But running 29 races throughout the entire day it took a while.
Wow. I tell you what, that and we happened, Debbie and I happened to drive up right in the middle of it on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Got up there and got to see some of the folks, and I was looking out over the crowd, and I thought I saw this pink driving suit, and I said, Alyssa is back. And Alyssa Vascocu is going to join us on the program tonight, so I'm excited about that. Also on the program, Douglas Stewart. Logan is getting him on the line right now. Brady Cornett, I mentioned Brady's going to be on with us. Also, Austin Brumbelow, Cornbread Brumbelow, he won at Winder. We'll go over these as we get there. But anyway, just a few to let you know. Gary Smith, he's going to be part of the Classic Vintage Racing Series at Tacoma Raceway on Saturday night. So Gary's going to join us as well. He's driving the old Bud Lunsford car. We'll talk about that when the time comes. Alyssa Vascocu, as I mentioned, from the kart track is going to be with us. She's got such a she's got such potential in racing. Man, she is so good. And she's just got a lot going on, so we're looking forward to talking to Alyssa, one of my favorite kart drivers. Chris Woods is going to be on with us tonight, too. Little concerned about Chris's schedule, but we're able to work it in, so that's going to be good. What we got, Logan?
T-minus 15.
Total?
Yep.
Both songs are over?
We only had one before the end.
Oh, we only did one for the interview. Okay.
Yeah. Douglas
see, Logan's here to keep me.
Yeah, Douglas is on the line.
Here we go. Hang on.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And our first guest tonight, Logan, who we got on the line?
Got Douglas on the line, all ready to go.
Douglas Stewart, man, he put that stockade in Victory Lane at Tacoma Raceway Saturday night. Douglas, you are always fast. Congratulations on getting that first win of the season.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that race.
Well, we didn't really know what we was getting into. You know, we raced the first race of the season, and we didn't have stuff go quite as planned. We had 3 busted shocks on the car, but still somehow managed to finish second.
Wow.
And
well, wait a minute. Let's back up here. What happened to the shocks on the car? Was it just the line that you were traveling on the racetrack, or what was going on with that?
Just the previous year, I didn't really have the funds at the time to, I had some stuff working to get new shocks, and I just run the same ones as last year, and they were, beat up from a full season on them and wore out and just really weren't worth crap after, a full season on them.
I got you. I thought what you were talking about was you broke them during the race, but you started out like that.
Yeah, we went into it the first race of the season knowing, that the shocks probably weren't the best, but we just wanted to see what our new motor would do and, test some other things. And, it still worked out for the best. We finished second. I don't know how, but we did.
I got you. Well, I look at the Facebook screen here, and I see your dad's watching. So has Benji got the truck out yet? How's that going?
Yeah, he's raced it one time, and we had some issues with it, power steering. It actually broke the bottom pulley off of the crank. It broke it completely off, and
wow.
We scrambled, and luckily one of my buddies was parked beside us that runs Modified Street. He's new to it, and his dad was like, we'll jerk them off of here and put them on there just so you can make the main event. And his pulleys were a little different, so we couldn't get the belt on there for the power steering at the time, so we rushed and got it back together. And he done all right with it, but now we're doing some changes to it, and hopefully it's going to come back way stronger than it was and really turn some heads.
That's a good deal. I know that you've showed up now. No lie about this. You've shown up in a pretty ratty looking car over the years. Till last year, you showed up and that thing looks immaculate. What a great job y'all did on designing the wrap on that car.
Oh yeah, and all that design. I'll be honest with you, how I got it is I play a lot of iRacing, and I had a guy on there build me a wrap on iRacing, and I liked the scheme of it, so I was like, I carried it to Kenny Collins, and I was like, Kenny, can you make me something? He's like, I got you. So, he got it figured out, and then me and my dad both decided, we wanted them to match. We wanted everybody to know, hey, we're father and son, and if we switch cars, really no difference. They kind of look the same. It's just, his is the truck, mine's a car.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, wasn't it last year before last, when both of you won and you got to pull them together in victory lane? Tell me about that deal.
Yeah, that was last year. Getting closer to the end of the season, I struggled a pretty good bit last year with motor problems, and I had some fortunate, good people come by and help us out and loan me a motor, actually, and we made it work. And I don't really recall much of it other than, just being patient and waiting until my time was right, and finally got the lead, and I won that one. And, I got out of the car. I think I raced before my dad that night, but I got out of the car, and I remember looking at my dad, and I was like, all right, I done my part. Now it's your part.
So it put up or shut up time for Benji, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it worked out great. I was glad to see y'all do a nose-to-nose thing in victory lane and have your picture made. That was a cool deal. Stephen, you would like to have interviewed the two of them.
Oh,
that
man.
Cool deal.
Yeah, doing a nose-to-nose interview is always fun to do.
Yeah, Jewel Coffee beat you to that one. Hey, Benji, hey, Douglas, hang on just a minute. We're going to come back and talk some more in just a minute, okay?
All right, that's fine.
Douglas Stewart is our guest. Got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We're on My Country 99.3 WCON.
The open road, it's filled with twists and turns, hills and valleys, but what lies beyond that open road? A Jeep owner knows, because they can go beyond the road to places that only a Jeep can take them. Right now, you can take advantage of unheard of rebates and discounts at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, with all Jeeps in stock below invoice because Jackie Jones is overstocked with new Jeeps. That's Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cleveland, Georgia. The best price every time, period.
How many times as a kid did you pull your arm down and yell, blow the horn, at truckers you'd see on the highway, wanting them to blow their horn? What if you were that driver and some kid was making that same memory looking at you? That's what's available to you right now as a team member at Simpson Trucking and Grading. Big trucks, big salaries, big deal. And it's just waiting for you at Simpson Trucking and Grading. If you are open to a new career in the trucking or heavy equipment field, contact Simpson Trucking and Grading on Candler Road in Gainesville or give them a call, 770-536-4731. That's 770-536-4731. Simpson Trucking and Grading wants you.
What's this yellow stuff on my car?
It's that time of year. If pollen is all over your car, what better solution than the $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash? Ask for the Champ Show Car Wash, and you'll get it for just $5.
What's this red stuff on my car?
Well, if you visit the local dirt track, then you might just need to head over to Bulldog Car Wash and ask for the Champ Show $5 car wash. Yes, it's happening every day, just $5 for a car wash, but you have to ask for it. Make sure to request your Champ Show $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash across from McDonald's in Toccoa. I've just got to tell you about the folks at J&C Auto Care in Toccoa. My truck was blowing oil all over the place. Well, I took it to several places who just couldn't figure out what was going on. But Jason and Clay knew exactly what to do. And you know why? They've been voted the best repair shop in Toccoa 2 years running. They're locally owned and operated. Check them out at 70 Mize Road in Toccoa. J&C Auto Care.
M&M Used Cars in Jefferson has a great selection of late model full-size trucks. Check out their extensive truck inventory. Full-size diesel and gas models from which to choose. If you're looking for a low-mileage, late-model, full-size truck, chances are they have exactly the one meant for you at M&M Used Cars. Check out the extensive inventory at MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. That's MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. Or stop by at 1312 Washington Street in Jefferson and see them in person. Apply for credit right on the website. 24-hour chat available as well. M&M Used Cars in Jefferson.
Hi, this is Charles. Come meet me Tuesday night at Chick-fil-A in Toccoa. It's another Health and Hope Hangout. We'll talk a little health, we'll share a little hope, and we'll even talk some racing if you want. I'll buy you some healthy grilled chicken nuggets and a Diet Coke. What could be better? I'll be there next Tuesday night at Chick-fil-A, Big A Road in Toccoa at 7 o'clock. Come meet me and let's hang out for a while, okay?
Is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And don't forget to join Mary and Joel and me on Monday morning at 8:45 for the Champ Racing Update as we update all the stuff going on in the racing world over the weekend. Do that on Monday morning. We always look forward to being here on My Country 99.3 WCON for that. Douglas Stewart is our guest right now. Douglas, Stephen Newbold's got a few questions for you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Douglas.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about your sponsors.
My sponsors, okay, so we got Safety Plus, W&W Towing, Special Effects, Paint and Body, Cross Air Cooled, and then they're not on the car, but Nations Towing's a big help on there too. And then just my mom, my dad, they're more sponsors to me than anybody sometimes, but that's all I got for this year, and they're actually helping out a lot more than I could ever imagine and could be blessed for.
Well, I know Brady Hunt had just posted on Facebook. He said, Douglas Stewart is my hero. And I tell you what, on Saturday night, he was the first one to post that you had won in Victory Lane. So I was excited to see Brady posting that about you. So I think Stephen's got another question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say, Douglas?
No, I was just going to say, me and Brady are actually, we're really close, and him and his dad helped me a lot. I mean, they've come through and been there for me since I started Stock 8. They're more of a leaf spring kind of people, but any advice that they can give, they help out. So, anything counts. So.
Yes, sir. Good deal.
That actually kind of leans into our next question. Who helps you out with your
car? With my car, it's working on it through the week. It would be me and my dad and my girlfriend. That's really it. There ain't really many people come over to the house and help us do anything with it.
Now, whoa. Now, several years ago, I had you on the show, and you completely left Bailey out altogether. And I hear now she's a little more than just a girlfriend. You want to update us on that?
Yes, we got engaged, and now we're just waiting on buying a house and, all the big adult stuff before we move on to the married part. But It's coming for sure.
Well,
it's just
Kenny
waiting
says,
on the right market.
Kenny, Bailey's dad, says you're in trouble, and that's not the first time he's put that as a comment whenever I've had you on the show. So, yeah. Anyway,
winning races,
about him.
winning races, getting engaged. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was long ago for me. I never won a race, so all I was doing was just running around in circles trying to stay out of the mud, and then got married at some point during that. Anyway, hey, Douglas, man, we appreciate you being with us on the program. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the big win, and we may see you on Saturday night.
We're going camping this weekend. We're going to take the week off.
Won't see you on
We got to
Saturday
enjoy
night.
it.
Yeah,
We might.
enjoy that win, man. All right, see you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
See you.
Douglas Stewart, he's the driver of the number 3. You won't catch him probably this Saturday night at Tacoma Raceway, but you can probably in the future. Hank Williams Jr. time. Talking about racetracks, man, all my rowdy friends they're all at the racetrack. They always are. I see them, and I'm part of them sometime. Here's Hank Williams Jr. on My Country 99.3 WCON. All right, now
remember
we're
the call
back on
letters.
base. Do what?
You remember the call letters?
Yeah, I remember the call letters, and you didn't have to look at me and point.
No.
Okay, so now we're on. Douglas. Douglas is watching now. Yeah, Douglas,
okay.
you got to remember Bailey, my man. Golly, am I going to have to drill it into you?
See, I find it
Speaking
funny.
of which, you need to say hey to Ariel.
Oh, hi, wife. I love you.
Oh, and Debbie also. Hello, she's watching. I saw her watching on there. I tell you what, supportive family, especially in the racing business, because we're always working when everybody else is playing.
Yes.
Our time to work is on the weekends and at night, and supportive spouses, you just can't say enough about them and what they allow us to do. It is, we talk about racing being a team sport. So is announcing. So is anything to do with the racing world. If you don't have support at home and the opportunities to go do things, you never make it in this world.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Without Ariel, there's no way I'd be able to do most of the stuff that I've been doing.
Lord, Debbie has endured me announcing all over the country and being gone Thursday through Monday and coming home and having no time with her.
That's how majority of my weekends have gone the past couple months.
So now let's talk a little bit about Liberty Racing Review. That
Yes,
is
sir.
something that you're very involved in. You're kind of one of the co-owners or co-hosts or co-editors or whatever.
Yes, sir.
What do you call yourself?
Well, okay, well, it's kind of difficult sometimes. Sometimes I am a writer. Sometimes I'm an editor. Sometimes I'm a photographer. I kind of do it all.
Okay.
So
Well, what does everybody else call you?
Operations or Steve.
Steve, yeah.
Just
Steve-O.
Steve-O. Let's see. A bunch of other things that probably shouldn't be said on air. But yeah, definitely. It's been a wild ride so far.
Well, Dixie's going to be very important for you. It's a showcase racetrack. Johnny Clark is just a hoot to work with and work for. He's going to be so much fun for you to be involved with him. And you'll see some great racing action at Dixie.
I really hope that I bring the energy that they're expecting. I like to be rowdy. I like to be fun, kind of like the song currently playing.
Yeah. So now, tell me have you been to many races at Dixie? Is that a place that you frequented?
I kind of grew up at Dixie as a kid. My father used to take me there back years ago, and my mom took me there.
When you say years ago, what years you talking about?
20 years ago.
Oh God, he was just I was just in my prime 20 years ago, getting going good. So now you work at Lockheed. Is that Lockheed in Marietta?
Yes, sir. Lockheed
You got to
Martin.
go all the way from there to come to here.
Yes, sir.
That is a haul.
It was about, with traffic, just under 3 hours.
But you live near Dawsonville, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I live in Tate.
So, well, you were kind of on the way home in a roundabout way.
Kind of. Just scenic route.
Yeah, I got you.
Just a little ways out there, but yeah, it was definitely fun.
By the way, your buddy Jim Abbott, who is a photographer in Victory Lane at Atlanta Motorsports Park, he was talking today about going up and down Highway 9 and talking about it being Thunder Road, and he'd never seen any liquor stills anywhere. And I said, you haven't ventured very far off the road.
Yeah, I was about to say,
there.
you just got to find them, Jim.
Yeah, that's what we talk about at Atlanta Motorsports Park is we don't want the drones flying too far over in the woods. You might spot something you shouldn't see. What have we got, Logan?
Who you got for our next guest? It's Brady, right?
Yeah, Brady Cornett. You got him?
Yeah, just double checking.
You got him on the line?
I'm about to.
Oh, you get him on the line. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff, folks. This is how it works here. We don't have a clue what we're doing until all of a sudden when the microphone comes on, we act like we know it.
Oh, wow.
If you say it with authority, nobody knows, right?
Yeah, nobody questions anything. They're like, yeah, you definitely know what you're talking about. 90% of the time, I have no clue.
Yeah, that's like one night at Livonia when I introduced a division by a name that it just came off my tongue, and it was absolutely wrong, and I'm not even going to share it on Facebook. I'll tell you to your face sometime what I said. I'll tell Stephen here whenever the microphone goes off, but I just kept right on going, and nobody caught it, and it was bad.
I've messed up some names pretty bad. Alyssa Vascocu is one of them.
Yeah, Alyssa.
Vascocu is what I originally called her the very first time I announced her name, and that was, 10 years ago, if not longer.
It took us a while to learn how to pronounce Alyssa's name. It's far simpler than it looks.
Oh, yes. You look at the spelling, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right.
How's it spelled?
Bruce, it's spelled Vascocu.
Vascocu.
But it's Vascocu.
Vascocu.
It's simple.
And Bruce had to straighten me out on that because I was just calling her all kinds of things till I learned. But and we had these guys. I'm a member of a PA announcers group on Facebook, and Mike Markham and he's a PA announcer all over the country, and we've been talking this past week about people that pronounce their names differently. Mm-hmm. And we had two brothers that raced at Lanier. One was Bob Aleo, and the other pronounced his last name Aleo. And they raced in the same division, and you'd have Bob Aleo getting passed by Mike Aleo, and they were brothers, and they could not agree on the pronunciation of their last name. Crazy. How many of you remember Aleo and Aleo? That was kind of a cool deal. What we got, Logan?
We got 30 seconds.
Till we go to Brady, or are we doing a commercial? We're going straight to Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me to ask you who's on the line again.
Yeah.
Okay, because I tend to forget that. I like to include Logan's voice here as much as possible.
Hey, Charles.
Nobody gets to see him. Yep.
Remember to ask me to let you know who was on the line.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad for that reminder.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
All right, here we go. Y'all, we got to act like we're on radio now, so y'all be cool. Yeah.
We're talking racing on the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And welcome back to the program. We got a great show for you tonight. We're just excited about all the people that we have on. And Logan, who do we have on now?
Brady's next.
Brady Cornett is joining us. Yeah, I think we've called him the Red Hill Rocket or the Carnesville Comet. I'm not sure. Brady, what do we call you?
I think it's the Cornett Comet.
Cornett Comet. Okay. Well, it certainly was Saturday night, man. Congratulations on getting that thing rolling. And what is that sound I hear? Is it the monkey climbing off your back?
Yes, sir. We struggled to start off the year, but we've got it. Maybe we've got something figured out now.
Well, you kind of had that same issue going to the end of last year. It's been a struggle since you moved up to limited late model. But I tell you what, I don't know many other limited late model drivers that are, what are you, 15, 16 now?
I'm 16 now.
16. Winner in limited late model.
You don't even have your license.
I know.
And, well, probably does now, but he's already out there tearing up a racetrack.
Yeah, gosh, I tell you what, I was just amazed at that. By the way, I asked Frankie that same question. I said, what kind of nickname do you want? And he said, just call me Fast. You know how Frankie is. Frankie Beard is kind of his what do you call him, a mentor? He kind of drove that car and helped you out with a lot of things. You call him and Parker Herring kind of your mentors, right?
Yes, sir. I guess that's what you could call him. Frankie drove for us ever since I was a little kid, and then my sister married Parker's son, and they're both great help to me if I need some advice or anything.
Yeah, and let the record state it wasn't that many years ago you were a little kid.
I was about to say the same thing, Charles. Yeah. I could say the same thing for myself.
So Brady, tell me about the race. Take me through last week's race. How'd you get the lead? What happened? And what was it like going back to victory lane?
Yes, sir. We started off the night by being fastest in hot laps, and then we backed it up qualifying. And the top's been dominant all year this year on the start, so it's kind of iffy if we were gonna get the lead on the start or not. But we had a really good start, and we got the lead, and we just stayed out front and drove hard, and we ended up in victory lane again.
Would it, if you had your, as they say, druthers, would you have rather started on the outside, knowing that it's always fast and that person on the outside usually gets the advantage in turn one?
You always, want to have the control to set the pace and start the race, but usually at Toccoa, the top, is usually a lot faster. Last weekend, the racetrack was really kind of even on the starts, but most of the time at Toccoa, you want to start on the top if you can.
Yeah, I got you. You got good equipment. You always have good equipment. Your dad, George, provides you with great stuff. And, of course, your sister also provide you with great stuff, Jessica and Matt, and what they have available for you. Knowing that you've got good equipment under you and knowing that the car's prepared well, that's got to give you a lot of confidence every time you hit the racetrack.
Yes, sir, it does. Being such a young age and having the equipment and the people behind me that I do, it's really awesome to get to do what I do each weekend. And, it just gives a lot of pressure off of you, just go do the best you can. You got a car to do it with every weekend. It's just finding the right balance is what our problem was at the beginning of the year with the new car and stuff. So we just had to find the right balance and get our monkey off our back, and we finally did it Saturday, so it feels good.
What chassis are you driving now?
We have a train chassis this year with Benji Cole. We partnered up with him this year.
Well, I tell you what, Benji he's got so many people in those train chassis now. They're just doing a great job with those. You did some traveling last year. How many tracks did you hit?
Last year, I think I went to maybe 9, 10.
Wow.
I think.
What's your favorite of all those that you went to?
It's hard to not say Toccoa, being so good there, but probably my favorite was the dirt track at Charlotte.
Oh, really? Yeah, I like that track, huh? But it's not banked anywhere near like Toccoa is, though.
No, sir, it's not as banked, but it's really long, and you carry about as much speed as you do at Toccoa, and it really slicks off, and you could race from top to bottom. Really, it was a cool experience.
That's a good deal. So now you'll be back at Toccoa this week?
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Okay. What's the plan like for the entire year? You're going to just focus in on Toccoa, maybe winning a track championship? Are y'all going to travel more this year? What's it looking like?
No, sir. We're going to, keep running a couple local shows to get some more laps in this new car and build up a good notebook, and then we're going to plan on traveling off towards the middle of the year, hit some big limited races, and we also still have our 602 car, so we're going to try to get it going too, and try to hit some bigger shows.
Okay, so now you plan on going to Dixie? Would you possibly see Steve Newbold in Victory Lane there?
I've always wanted to go to Dixie. I've heard some good things about the place, and it from the videos I've seen, it's got a lot of history behind it, and it looks like a cool place. I see they got a couple bigger limited races and 602 races, so hopefully we can get there before the year gets out.
Well, come on down. I'm waiting on you. I need some practice interviewing people, so come on down to Victory Lane. I'll be there.
Hey, that'd be nice.
Dixie's just basically an opposite of Toccoa. This D-shaped on the backside, on the front side instead of the backside. So it doesn't drive like Toccoa or anything like that. But as far as the track layout, it's kind of opposite of what Toccoa is. So you'll enjoy Dixie. But anyway, may see you on Saturday night. Looking forward to kind of strolling through the pits and seeing everybody this week. So we'll stop by and say hey to you.
Yes, sir. I hope the weather holds off. It doesn't look too good, too promising right now, but
that dreaded R word might be hanging around, but let's hope that's not the case. Hey, Brady, hang on just a minute. We got to take a quick break and come back, okay?
Yes, sir.
Brady Cornett, driver of the number 2, the Cornett Comet, I think we've decided on, is our guest. Got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We are My Country 99.3 WCON.
If you're looking for late model used car parts, look no further than Peach State Auto Parts on the Royston Highway in Cannon. That's in the Gold Mine community on Highway 29 between Hartwell and Royston. Scott Heumann and his staff also buy scrap metal, copper, and aluminum cans. They will pick up your junk cars for free. If you need roll-off bins or containers for business or construction, call on Peach State Auto Parts and Recycling. Call Scott today at 706-245-4407. That's 706-245-4407.
You know what Debbie and I don't do anymore? Clean our pool. That's because we've hooked up with Aquabot of Georgia. The Aquabot robotic pool cleaner is #1 in pool cleaning technology. This amazing robotic technology maps the pool floor, scrubs and microfilters your water down to 2 microns, saving you time and money on expensive chemicals and water. You simply plug in the tangle-free power cord, drop it in the pool, and walk away to enjoy your free time. That's it. Stop by Aquabot of Georgia in Gainesville at Chastain Janitorial and see our friends Shane and and Debbie Chastain. They'll hook you up. They've served North Georgia for 30 years. Check them out at aquabotofgeorgia.com. Your pool cleaning days are over.
It's the Carolina Clash coming this Friday night at Livonia Speedway. That's right, tomorrow night the super late models will return to the 3/8 mile speed plant, playing $5,000 to win. Also this week, it's the 602 late models, the modified streets, the stock 8s, the stock 4s, and the front wheel drives. Grandstand admissions, $20. Pits, $35. It's all set for tomorrow night at Livonia Speedway, the return of the super late model Carolina Clash. The best 3/8 mile track in North Georgia is set to welcome you.
And the best 3/8 mile track in North Georgia is not set to welcome you tomorrow night. They are off. That was last week with the Carolina Clash. They're off this week at Livonia, but they'll be back a week from now. So make sure to make your plans to be there a week from now. No racing this weekend at Livonia Speedway.
Bowling Farm Supply is like a step back in time. Remember when you go to the feed store with your dad or granddad? Well, at Bowling Farm Supply, you can relive those great memories. Of course, they have feed, seed, and fertilizer along with soil, hay, and mulch, but they have so much more. A massive selection of knives. Names like case, buck, poker, hen, and rooster, and handmade knives. Face jugs, antiques, Zippo lighters. It's more than just a feed store. It's a unique shopping experience. Bowling Farm Supply is located at the corner of Highway 198 and Damascus Road in Homer. Stop in today.
If you're looking for the best shock package for your 602 late model, modified street, stock 8, or open wheel modified, then Joey Dorsey at Racecraft Performance is who you need to call. Joey's helped many top name drivers achieve success by building their shocks to be the best on the track. Choosing from famous names like AFCO, Bilstein, Orem, Fox, and Penske. From dialing your shocks to spring rate adjustments, Joey knows all the tricks of the trade. And don't forget your racing fuel. Racecraft Performance has that too. Contact Joey Dorsey at Racecraft Performance at 706-436-2294 or see him at Modern Tire in Hartwell.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap, presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Yeah, I always love talking with Joel and Mary in the morning on My Country 99.3 WCON on Mondays. Tune in this Monday and see what we have to talk about. We're going to be talking about the race in Kansas for NASCAR. Brady, Steve's got some questions for you.
Now, Brady, we talk about, stickers a lot. You having pretty stickers on your car. Let's talk about stickers you got in your car.
Oh, yes, sir. It takes an army to get to the racetrack each and every week. I got some great sponsors that help, CMP Automotive, Die Rample Realty, Circle D Farms, Capital Custom Paint, Modern Tire and All-Terrain, Circle of Friends Daycare, Summit Road Auto, J&C Auto Care, Riverside Angus, CTC, B&B Race Engines, Train Chassis. That's about it.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good thing you got a big car because you got a lot of sponsors you got to put on that thing. So if you were driving a go-kart, you wouldn't have room for all
Oh, no. Trust me on that one, no. There's no way to put that many sponsors on a go-kart.
Yeah.
But who we have wrenching on your car?
Oh, yes, sir. None of this wouldn't be possible without my dad. He works his butt off to make this possible. My brother-in-law, Matt, my sister, Jessica, Benji Cole, just my grandparents, just everybody that, puts a little bit of helping hand in this thing to make it all possible for me.
Well, they certainly do a great job, and I know you're looking forward to getting back after getting that win last week. You're going to be holding your head high, assuming that you don't have to hold it up out of the water on Saturday night. You're going to be holding your head high for victory. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's always the plan everywhere we go to try to get a win.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was excited whenever I heard you won that race. I wish I'd have been there to see it, but maybe we'll check it out this week. So, Brady, thank you so much for being on the program. Always good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks so much. Right now, we're ready to hear a little Shania Twain. It's one of my favorite racetrack songs. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Here she is on My Country 99.3 WCON.
All right.
So, yeah, no more Shania for us. We're talking right now. Yeah, Brady's always a good interview. I like him. He's a great kid. I tell you what, let me tell you this. First time, I think I was standing beside his sister Jessica. We were at the racetrack at Livonia, and he went out hot laps or something. Anyway, he went out in the car. First time. And both of us kind of looked at each other like, wow, he's actually driving. He didn't just go out there and piddle. He actually put his foot in the gas and slid around the corners and looked like a driver first time out. And everybody just looked and said, who knew that he had this kind of talent? And he was probably 11 or 12 at that time.
I think I might have actually interviewed him before at Livonia.
May have, yeah. He's running Livonia.
I can't remember if he won when we were up there in October. I can't remember the name of the driver that won, but I interviewed a very young driver, and the voice sounds familiar to me. I don't remember names very well.
Well, Paris Simmons is fairly young. Paris just turned 23 this week. He's a young driver, and he's won a lot of races. Nathan Bray's won a lot of races in 602. He's a young driver as well. Not as young as Paris, but he's kind of young. There's a lot of young drivers.
Yeah.
So it's
the sport is definitely healthy.
Yeah, and I have been amazed at that because for a lot of years we didn't see a lot of youngsters coming in. We thought the racing bug had kind of run its course. All the adults were getting older. There were no young kids coming in, and all of a sudden they started this young guns division. They started 602 Charger for people to get started out in late models. A lot of things have led to that. Even Legends programs and a lot of kart racing has led to a lot of young people coming into racing now. And I'm very excited to see that because the sport is alive and well, and I'm glad that that's the case. I was worried about it for a lot of years.
Yeah, the youth movement. I guess I would consider myself being a part of the youth movement. I am still pretty young, but the youth movement has definitely helped grow the sport a lot faster than I thought it would. I mean, look at NASCAR. Everybody, the older generation was saying NASCAR is dying. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, well, just this year, I think that NASCAR said they've had their largest growth of new viewers in the last few years. So a lot of people are getting turned on to it. And people complain about going to the Coliseum at Los Angeles to do the Clash. They complain about the rap music that's being played before. But you know what? That's what's attracting the new people to the sport.
You've got to look at your demographic and see what the target audience is to draw them in. That's part of the I guess you'd say the marketing side of everything. You gotta pinpoint every little bit of location of what needs to be done.
Yeah, and Steve and I talked about this a while ago about Denny Hamlin. I have really wanted to not like Denny Hamlin since he spun Chase back at Martinsville 5 or 6 years ago. I think everybody remembers that. Everybody likes to boo Denny Hamlin. But Kyle Busch said it one day. He said, racing is not racing unless you've got a villain to root against and somebody to root for. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, Kyle Busch was that villain. All of a sudden, when he joins Richard Childress Racing, he is now everybody's favorite. So
he's switched from, as I like to joke, the cheating Yoders to the Chevrolets. Yeah. And I think that was a big jump for people.
When Toyota first came in, I used to have people that complained about Toyota being a foreign car. NASCAR's allowing foreign cars in here. Well, and I pointed out to them at that time that the Fords were made in Mexico, the Chevys were made in Canada, and the Dodges were made in Germany, and the Toyotas were made in Kentucky.
Yeah, I was going to say they were made in Kentucky.
You tell me who's the foreign cars.
Which one's more American?
Yeah. But I mean, and I'm still, if you look out in the parking lot, I am in a General Motors vehicle, and I have a Ford truck. I am not one of the people who have succumbed to the foreign cars. I just don't like them as far as my personal car. But you can't say much about Toyotas. They have been very, very strong on the racetrack this year.
Me and Will Rigdon have joined the dark side. I hate to tell you that.
Oh, really?
Toyota drivers.
Oh, golly.
We joke around in the booth about racing our Corollas. And I can't wait till we actually do that. We joke every weekend, and I think it's finally time to do that.
Okay, yeah, you might as well do that. We've had the Teslas out there racing, and you don't expect to have Teslas racing on a road course, but they've raced at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Crazy seeing a Tesla go out there and rip up the track.
And one turnover at the racetrack, that's a crazy thing. And if you've not been to Atlanta Motorsports Park, let me tell you, Steve and I, that's where we first met, and that is just a great place. We're going to be doing a giveaway coming up in just a little while for one of the free kart rentals at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and Steve Frank and the guys have been wanting me to come up there and do the kart rental, and one of these days, Debbie's been telling me you need to go up and just enjoy yourself. But what I'd like to do is get Steve and get Will Rigdon and get John Matthews, some of my guys that are in the booth with me, and go up there and let's just trash each other. That's what I want to do.
All right, we'll play bumper carts.
Yeah.
I know that track like the back of my hand.
Do they have special carts that we can do for that? They've got all brand new rental carts.
Yeah, all brand new.
Yeah,
I don't know if we need to.
I don't know that they would appreciate us going up there and trashing those carts. But anyway, I've been thrown out of racetracks for worse.
You ready to recreate Days of Thunder?
Oh, sure. Yeah. You want to be rowdy or you want to be cold?
I don't know. Either way, let's do it.
Logan, where are we at? What are we doing?
We still got 2.5 minutes.
Wow, that's an eternity.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So coming up next is Austin Brumbelow. Now, that's Cornbread Brumbelow. He was a winner at Winderbarrow. He didn't do too well at Livonia. We'll talk about that. He had a race at Livonia on Saturday night, and there's a lot of video of him spinning out. So we'll talk to him about that when the time comes to. And he's done some. I think we're going to talk about this too. I believe he's doing some like motocross racing or motorcycle stuff. I believe that's I've been seeing that. So we'll
maybe
talk
some
to him
flat
about
track
that.
stuff, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know a whole lot about these guys. Hey, Michael Moore is watching. Michael is the sheriff of Madison County, and it's great to have him watching right now. He's a good racing dude, and I tell you what, he's got a heck of a race car, and I hope to see you in that thing, Michael. I hope to be there to watch you at some point whenever you get back behind the wheel of that. Where we at, Logan? Oh, he is getting our next guest online, so I think Cornbread's going to join us. That's one thing I want to ask him. We've got Cornbread Chin, we got Cornbread Haley, we got Cornbread Brumbelow. We got a whole lot of cornbreads going on.
There's Butterbean.
No.
I mean,
there is a Butterbean.
Yes.
Now, who was it, Butterbean?
Butterbean. Oh, gosh.
Somebody was Butterbean. Hey, Dink, man, Dink got a big win. Dink won the limiteds at Winder Bear. I think it was this past weekend, Dink. I'll have to check my results. But anyway, yeah, Dink passed 2 cars on the final lap. He said he just went for it. And, man, that is cool. We had him on the show just last week, or we would have had him again to talk about that. But what a great win that Dink McKeon had at Winder Bear. What we got?
Cornbread on the line.
Okay.
He's there. He's ready.
How many seconds we got?
We still got 40. We got plenty of time.
Oh, we got 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Man, we got time to go to the bathroom in 40 seconds. We can do anything we want to. That's a long time in the radio world.
Want to go build a race car?
Dink won at Winder. Yeah, man, I was so excited to hear how you just said, I got to make something happen. You did the Ross Chastain kind of thing. You just got to make something happen, and it worked out for him, so he got the win.
Did he pull a Hell Melon?
No, he didn't do a Hell Melon.
Oh, okay.
He went down underneath, as I understand it, he went underneath the other 2 guys and just said, I'm going for it, and passed them as he came by. So anyway, Dink, I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but I was excited to see that. Congratulations to you. Okay, here we go. What we doing?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. And we're going to the opening, right?
We're going straight
to the liner.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Here we go.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap. Presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Yeah, we've been calling that thing the update. I guess the official word is the Champ Racing Recap. That's what we need to call it. I didn't know we had an official name for that. Anyway, we'll join Joel and Mary on Monday to talk about the official Champ Racing Recap as it comes your way at 8:45. Logan, who we got?
Got Austin on the line.
Austin Cornbread Brumbelow is joining us right now after a win. He got the win at Winder this weekend. Hey, Austin, how you doing, man?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. We were just talking kind of off the air here on our Facebook feed a moment ago. You kind of fell on your face at Livonia, but you came back and made it work at Winder. Tell us a little bit about your weekend.
Yeah, we went to Livonia Friday, and we timed in quick in practice, second quick to Jamie Massey. And then in the heat race, Justin Taylor, he fell out and busted radiator, and that moved the inside row up. So then we started the race and got behind a couple guys. Somebody got around, and I hit them and had nowhere to go. Got it back together, though, and it worked out Saturday.
Yeah, so tell me about the race at Winder. How did that win come about for you?
Well, we had Scott Hollers. He doesn't race at Winder much, and he's doing good just to be showing up there. And Bryson Briscoe, he was fighting a tight race car, so I was able to get by him.
Well, at least Bryson got his car back. Been a while since he's been behind the wheel.
Yeah, got his new motor back, and he's going to be a problem for us when he gets that thing sorted out.
Yeah, I tell you what, that youngster is on the prowl right now. Looking for him to. I was hoping that he and Jennifer could both win in the same night again. That would be a cool thing. They've done that once, I think, and they're trying to see if they can do it again.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. Then when I got by him, I was able to keep the 02 back there and had the 56. And Nick Fulcher, he was tough too. He turned the fastest lap, and I was just able to hang on to it. It was working good thanks to Justin. He helps out a lot with the setup.
That's good. So now, yeah, Scott Hollers, he was a Hartwell regular, and of course with Hartwell being closed, I think he's found maybe a new place to go to get to Winder.
Yeah, he's like I say, it gets tricky if you don't race there, and he was real good his first week there.
Yeah, how about that? So now tell me about Cornbread. How did you come up with that nickname?
It seems like around 2011 at Hartwell, maybe somebody called me that. I was racing Young Guns, and it stuck.
Huh.
I think it was Brandon Haley was out there racing. Maybe I was watching close, and somebody was like, "There's Cornbread Jr. or something. I don't know, something along those lines.
Well, I wondered if it had anything to do with Brandon, and I also wonder, Cornbread Chin, Herbie Chin now is Cornbread also. So we got, when somebody says Cornbread one, now we have to say Cornbread which.
Yeah.
So now I've been watching your Facebook post. You've been doing some. Is it motocross? Is it flat track? What have you been doing lately that's different than the 4-wheel racing stuff?
It's just motocross stuff, trying to get into that a little bit. I was into it when I was a younger teenager, but just now getting back into it.
Did you ever race at 106?
I didn't.
Oh, that may be before your time.
Yeah, that was probably after me. I was like 07, 08.
Yeah, you were probably 2 years old whenever we were running 106 on a regular basis. So where have you been running on your motorcycle?
I haven't raced it yet, but I'm looking to get into that. My first race, soon. As soon as I get one that's, local.
Where do they race around here now?
Oh, they Scrub and Dirt in Monroe. They put on a few races, every other month or so, and then Durhamtown, of course.
So now you're what, in the Jefferson Winder area? Where are you from?
Yeah, Winder.
Winder. Okay, so you're fairly close to the one in Monroe, at least.
Oh yeah.
So which is going to take precedent? You just went to Victory Lane in the car. So which is going to take precedence now, the car or the motorcycle?
Definitely a goal to win on Saturday and then go win on Sunday.
So you're going to race the motocross on Sunday?
Yeah.
All right, got you. I know this weekend the weather's looking kind of iffy. Let's hope we get the races in. If we do, you're going to be standing about 6 inches or a foot taller when you walk through the pits after a winter, right?
Yeah, hopefully I'm going to be at Travelers Rest, South Carolina tomorrow with the MMSA guys, and the weather don't look good, but hopefully it'll hold out for us.
So now, have you been traveling with the MMSA?
I went to Livonia and Winder. That when they came to me, I went to those shows. But this will be the first one I've branched out with them.
So obviously going to be your first time at Travelers Rest too, right?
Yeah, I've been to Tri-County, but not Travelers Rest. So yeah.
What do you know about that racetrack?
Yeah, I've been watching a couple videos on it. It looks pretty flat. I don't know. Maybe the videos deceive it.
I think it is flat, and I think that drivers tell me they love that racetrack, so I think you'll like it when you get there. If you like a tacky, we're still in the springtime. Tracks are fairly tacky. They haven't dried out really, really hard yet, so I think you may like that track.
Right, yeah, it looks good. Hopefully I carry some momentum. I hope you always want to do good after you win one, but those guys are no joke.
Yeah, MMSA is tough, man. Let's hope you don't tear up a bunch of equipment, because they tend to do that in MMSA racing.
It's a good sign to be able to keep the 02 and 56 behind you. So
yeah,
I got some speed, obviously.
Absolutely. If you can keep Justin and Nick behind you, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin, hang on just a minute. We got to take a quick break and come back. It's like a flat Livonia. Dink McKeon just said that. It's a flat Livonia, so keep that in mind when you go there. Right now, Austin Brumbelow is our guest. We got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. You're on My Country 99.3 WCON.
What a load!
That's what you'll be saying when Gus Simpson pulls up with your load of gravel, topsoil, or dirt. Gus has been in the trucking business with his family his whole life. Now Gus has branched out into his own trucking company. Gus Simpson Trucking maintains a fleet of 15 late model dump trucks sitting at the ready to bring your load. Call them for a quote. Write this number down, 678-780-0197. You can also check out the Facebook page at Gus Simpson Trucking.
If you want him dead, call Fred. I've been saying this for years. That's because Fred Justice and the staff at Justice Exterminating can make your home pest-free. Justice Exterminating is your local full-service pest control company, serving all of Northeast Georgia. Debbie and I had huge problems. Bugs, roaches, rats, we had them all. Till Justice Exterminating came on the scene. They handled our pest problem in no time flat. We wouldn't go a single month now without our visit from Justice Exterminating. Give them a call today for a free inspection. 706-968-8519. Justice Exterminating will get you pest-free, I promise. Remember, if you want them dead, call Fred. at Justice Exterminating.
M&M Used Cars in Jefferson has a great selection of late model full-size trucks. Check out their extensive truck inventory, full-size diesel and gas models from which to choose. If you're looking for a low mileage, late model full-size truck, chances are they have exactly the one meant for you at M&M Used Cars. Check out the extensive inventory at MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. That's MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. Or stop by at 1312 Washington Street in Jefferson and see them in person. Apply for credit right on the website. 24-hour chat available as well. M&M Used Cars in Jefferson.
The Addison Agency is your one-stop for all your insurance needs. Home, auto, life, commercial, farm, and annuities. They're the insurance agents for Debbie and me. You can find them in Toccoa at Design Point. That's just across Rose Lane from Colts and Clark. See Daryl, Bonda, Colby, or Mary Ann for the best quotes from Auto Owners Insurance. Call them tomorrow morning, 706-886-1247. The Addison Agency is our insurance agency. Make sure they're yours, too.
What's this yellow stuff on my car?
It's that time of year. If pollen is all over your car, what better solution than the $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash? Ask for the Champ Show Car Wash, and you'll get it for just $5.
What's this red stuff on my car?
Well, if you visit the local dirt track, then you might just need to head over to Bulldog Car Wash and ask for the Champ Show $5 car wash. Yes, it's happening every day, just $5 for a car wash, but you have to ask for it. Make sure to request your Champ Show $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash across from McDonald's in Toccoa.
Listening to the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCOM.
And Charles Head is joined by Steve Newbold here with us tonight as my co-host in the, and I start saying the tower. I'm so used to being at the racetrack. So in the tower here is Steve Newbold. Steve's got some questions, or Austin, Steve's got some questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Mr. Austin. So tell us a little bit about your sponsors.
I got a few people helping me out on there. It's Top Tier Scapes, Logan Stinchcomb. He does a lot. He helps me out with working on the car and stuff, and he's always around to lend a hand. And I got Morgan and Nick Fulcher. She's got her real estate stuff, and Nick with his hauling and stuff. And Stinchcomb Paint and Body. They're my neighbors. They help me out some. And that's Taylor Built Performance. He's on there too. He of course he sets it up and keeps it handling good.
I'll tell you what, it's good to have the Stinchcombs and the Fulchers and the Taylors. You got some great Facebook friends of mine and also some great sponsors on that car.
Yeah, solid folks.
Yeah, good people.
So with
I got a couple of buddies that help me out too. You know, turn wrenches. Ethan Carlisle, he helps me out a lot. He races go-karts. He was big into that.
That name does sound familiar to me.
Yeah.
He probably runs up at Dogwood. But
yeah, I think he won a bunch there.
Yes, sir. So do you, as the driver, also wrench on the car? I know most dirt guys do.
Yep, yeah, primarily. If I can't get it to do something I want it to do, then I go contacting Justin, or I've been blessed to know the guys with speed. JJ Garrett, he helps me out. Different people, you know, whoever I need to call, they're there.
I tell you what, you've got some. It's like a who's who of Stock 4 racing that you've got working with you on your car. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all local too. Like I say, we've been doing it a long time together, and they definitely played a part in any wins I've had.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I know you're looking forward to Travelers Rest and getting up there this weekend. That is a Friday night race, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So if the car is still in good shape, what are your plans Saturday night?
If it's in good shape, if I do good, I mean, you say if you do good. If I ran 18th, I'd probably still want to race Saturday. But I'd say the tire deal kind of keeps me wondering where to go. But I like the Hoosiers, but Winder unfortunately don't. So have to throw the American Racers on for that. If may end up there, may end up at Toccoa. Either one's Sonoya's coming up soon, too. Going to have to go there.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I know you're interested in traveling around and visiting some other places. Good luck if you go to TR tomorrow night, if we get that race in because of the weather. But let's hope that's going to be the case, and we'll look forward to finding out how you did.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, thanks so much. Cornbread Brumbelow, you know him better as Austin Brumbelow, but Cornbread has been our guest on the program after a big win at Winder Bear Speedway this past Saturday night. Right now, it's time for a little Brooks and Dunn. Yeah, it's time to rock my world here on My Country 99.3 WCON. Okay, did I do that well?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Good enough for me.
Yeah, all right, good enough for you, and you said that's good enough for me if it's good enough for you.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so we are rocking my world with Brooks and Dunn right now. So we come back and do the NASCAR report in 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
we are going to be cutting that Aaron Tippin song at the end of the show, by the way. We're not going to have time for that, like, at the very end.
Oh, we know already.
Yeah.
We're behind?
We're behind by, like, a song's worth, yeah.
Oh, we're behind 3 minutes? Okay, help me make it up a little bit, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. But now the spot sets are shorter as we go down through here.
Okay.
I made sure they're heavy at the beginning and they get shorter, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes,
Okay.
minute, 3 minute and a half, something like that. As
I'll
we
keep
go
a
on.
closer eye on it, but for the next guest or so, we're probably going to have to cut them off by, like, a minute on that first segment, maybe,
Okay.
or the second one or the other.
Yeah, we'll make sure and not do a lot of talking after the sponsors. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
You're seeing behind the scenes stuff. This is what Logan and I do every week whenever we're between commercials and getting ready to go back on. We have to kind of recapitulate. Hey, Sean, he is one of my fellow PA announcers. He's in the booth all the time talking. It's good to see him on here tonight. So now you have got Dixie. Have you really had any experience doing Victory Lane at a stock car race?
No, I do not, actually. I've got a lot of experience at AMP, 2 years worth there with the kart circuit and the main track circuit, doing it there.
So what's your go-to question? When a driver gets out of the car, what's your go-to question?
How you feeling?
Okay.
How you feeling?
Yeah.
Rough and rowdy, let's go.
Or let me give you some pointers. You can always say, what was the turning point for you in the race? And you obviously got to know if they started on the pole.
Yes.
Obviously, there's no turning point really, but you can always say, the key is being the first person down to turn one.
Yes.
How did you make that happen? Or if you watch them during the race and say, how did you make the winning move? If they didn't start up front, you can always say, tell me about making the winning move. And I always, rather than asking a question, I've had this happen before. I'd say, looked like a pretty good race, right? Yeah. And you're dead air. So I try not to ever ask a question that can be answered with a yes or no. I try to say, tell me what it was like when such and such happened, or tell me about your winning move. So I try to elicit more than just a yes or no, because a lot of drivers will just do that. Matter of fact, I've had drivers, you put the microphone there, and they just start going back. They don't want to be. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my
And
hands.
honestly, like guys like, and I hate to say this, but like Bill Elliott was like that. Bill, he had to do it because he knew he was important to do, but he did not he wanted to be behind the wheel driving a race car. That was his forte. Now, Chase is a whole nother story. Chase loves to talk, and he loves to be, and he always seems to say the right things. That's what kills me about Chase or what makes me proud of Chase, is he says the right thing at the right time. What are we doing?
15 seconds in NASCAR.
Oh, 15 seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
we got to get ready. We're going to talk about Hey, Joyce Lane, Marty's got his car ready. I can't wait to see y'all do it. Y'all going to be at Toccoa Saturday night? Anyway, here we go. Sorry.
T-4.
It's pedal to the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And it's time for the NASCAR report as we recap last weekend's NASCAR race. Logan, tell us a little bit about what happened last weekend.
Well, over the weekend, they went to Dover. Denny Hamlin got his third victory of the season there, led it by a pretty substantial margin. As you and I were talking a little bit behind the scenes, wasn't an especially eventful race there. He led some 136 to be exact. Just barely beat out Kyle Larson toward the end there because he kind of made a move but couldn't quite get in there. Martin, it was Truex Jr. who got third there.
Yeah, that was the site of Martin Truex's first win. If you remember, that was back, I don't know, we were in China. It was Memorial Day weekend, and we happened to be in China when Martin got his first win at Dover. But that is the concrete monster mile. Steve, that is a treacherous racetrack. And Buddy Baker used to call it the self-cleaning racetrack. Whatever happens always filters down to the bottom. It just cleans itself. Didn't have a lot of accidents, didn't have a lot of wrecks, but there were some tire issues, and that concerned me going into that was the concrete and the problems that NASCAR's had with the tires already this year.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Goodyear at the moment. I think probably it's just a chemical compound that they haven't quite figured out yet. I know they were having some issues at Bristol. People loved the fall off. People hated the fall off. It's going back and forth. There's no telling really what to look for in the short track package.
I heard a lot of the drivers and the crew chiefs talking about it, and they said, don't make wholesale changes. Make a little bit of change, but we like the fact that it's back in the driver's hands. We want to feel that tire getting soft on us. We know the feel. We want to be able to come into pits, get new tires, and come back out. It's not like they were, crashing with tires just blowing everywhere. Mm-hmm. It was, you could feel the traction going as the cord started to show on the tires. So make a little bit of change in the compound, get it a little harder, but that's what they're having to do for those concrete tracks. Now, the tracks are not taking rubber like they used to. They'd black over. Now they don't black over at all because the track is not taking rubber like it used to. The rubber is going out into marbles on the side instead of sticking to the racetrack. So anyway, this weekend NASCAR is going to Kansas. Kansas at times has been a fuel mileage racetrack. They got smaller fuel cells now. So even in the last few years, though, it's still been a fuel mileage track. Drivers having to save fuel to try to make it to the end. We'll see how it goes this weekend when NASCAR goes to Kansas. Getting ready for the All-Star break. It's coming up very soon, and that's going to be fun as they head back to North Wilkesboro. So that is the NASCAR report. Right now, it's time for Little Texas. It's time for them to do something like NASCAR is going to do. Kick a little right here on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. What are we doing?
We got Little Texas playing right now, and
all
then
right,
after that...
Okay,
yeah.
You're going to play the intro, and then we're going to do the giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, get by your phones. We're going to do a giveaway for Atlanta Motorsports Park kart track. Yeah, got it. There's the number. New number. So if you wrote down last week's number, don't use it.
Psych.
So anyway, we're going to be doing that coming up here in a minute. All right, so now we were talking back before about things to do when you interview guys. I'm just going to give you a few tips here. And you don't have to do it this way. This is just what's worked for me over the years. I always, again, ask their sponsors, ask who helps on the car. If they've got children, I try to get to the track at least 2 hours early. I try to get there at least an hour before the driver's meeting. And I go around and walk around and I introduce myself and I see everybody. Of course, when you've been there 40 years, you don't really have to introduce yourself, but there's occasional new people that have to come in and you have to introduce yourself to them. I prided myself. Is that a word? Prided? I prided myself. Yeah, prided. I prided myself.
That sounds right.
On knowing their wives' names or their husbands' names, their children's names. That's real important, is to become one of the people, recognized as a person. I remember the first time that I was standing with Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, and Rusty Wallace. They were all kind of confabbing on something, and I was just standing there. And Dale Earnhardt looked over at me and he said, "Charles, what do you think about it?" And to be included, I mean, I was just blown away. Number one, that he knew my name, and number two, that I was included in the conversation. They cared about my opinion. So try to get close to the drivers so that they feel like you're part of them. You're not an outsider coming in. A lot of times people from radio or from broadcast or from newspaper come in, they're a little standoffish because they don't know what they've been burned by media people in the past. So they're a little standoffish. So become one of them. Become a racer. I consider myself a racer just as much as the guys behind the wheel of the car do, even though I've been a long time since I've been behind the wheel of a car. But become a racer, in the larger sense of things. So a lot of great guys at Dixie. You'll hear the Ingram name talked about a lot. Bill Ingram, Frank Ingram. Yep. Bill won I think he won the very first Have-A-Tampa shootout. And I used to do those with Johnny Clark over there. Had a great time doing the Have-A-Tampa shootouts with Johnny back in the days when Jimmy Mosteller was still doing things. And so just a lot of great history there. So you'll enjoy Dixie Speedway.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie.
That's a big.
That's a big deal.
You're on a big stage.
Yeah.
Dixie is a big stage, and of course, usually Rick Minter, who's the writer for the Atlanta Journal, gets over to Dixie a couple of times a year, and so you'll probably get mentioned in the Atlanta Journal. I know that Rick. Oh gosh, I'm going to tell this. Should I tell this? This is not worthy of radio.
Well, we got about 30 seconds left.
All right. So Rick told me one time, he said, "Charles, you know what the difference in what you do and what I do?" And I said, "What's that, Rick?" He said, you're a fart and I'm a turd. And I said, what? He said, if you say something wrong on the radio, it just kind of goes away. And people say, did I really hear that? And he said, if I write something wrong, it just sits there and stinks day after day and people see it. So anyway, that was Rick's words, not mine. So blame him, not me. All right, here we go. What are we doing now?
Firing the reintro, then the giveaway.
The giveaway, and then what do we do? Go to another song?
Yeah, Jody.
Okay, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Be ready.
My country is WCON FM, Cornelia, Athens, Gainesville. This is the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON. Presented by Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. From NASCAR to local tracks, it's everything you need to know with your host, Georgia Racing Hall of Fame announcer, Charles Head.
Yeah, we're into our second hour now of the Champ Racing Show. Steve Newbold is my guest host tonight, and he is, of course, the announcer at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and we got something big going on right now. Steve, what we got?
Well, we got a giveaway going on. So one free kart rental comes with the necessary training to get around the course in the least amount of time, and AMP is a pretty big track. Experience 55 mile an hour plus in the wide open space of kart racing. So we do have a number that you guys can call. Do we set that as the first caller? Is that what
Yeah, we're going to do first caller tonight, so get ready.
All right, you ready? You better be quick. I'm going to announce it. 706-778-0993. And again, that's caller 1 at 706-778-0993.
And you get one free pass to Atlanta Motorsports Park to the kart track. They're open every day except Monday. So keep that in mind. They're open every day. Take your buddies up there and enjoy some kart racing. We're going to go ahead and do that one of these days. They've been on to me to come up and do the kart rental, so we're going to do that. They said, no, I don't have to rent one. I just go and they let me do it for free. That's going to be fun. Anyway, Atlanta Motorsports Park is the place to be. Got some more music right now for you. Here's Joe D. Messina. Yeah, it's Rustin and Levin. Is that right?
Rustin and Levin.
Rustin and Levin. I couldn't even read my own writing and didn't know this song. Here we go on My Country 99.3 WCON.
All right, we got a caller on the line.
What was that, Rustin and Levin?
Close enough.
Oh, golly. Well, I counted down 11. All right, here we go. Who we got?
It happens.
All right, so Logan is getting ready to tell us who it is.
You are? Well, congratulations. You are our first caller. That means you won.
Yeah, one of these days we're going to take our 30th caller and just keep him busy.
I need something to write with here.
I got it. Okay, here we go. There's my pen.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so can I get your name?
All right. It's like an Easter egg hunt. Who's it going to be?
Man, it's going to be funny if it's somebody I know.
Yeah.
Somebody that I was like, hey, why don't you listen to the show? You could possibly, win something.
That's right.
All right, could you spell your last name out for me again?
Why don't you be Reed?
All right.
That would be great.
Okay, now can I get the best callback number for you?
Yeah, Landon Payne won last week. Landon's a local driver, and I think it was his grandma said that she heard it on there, and she said, Landon, call in right quick, and he did, and he won it. So, Landon, I hope you've had a chance to go up and enjoy it. So all you do is just send the name up there, and all you got to do is show up and say, hey, I'm the winner from the Champ Show. Lucas Arnett and all the guys, they're expecting you to be there. So we'll find out in just a moment. As soon as Logan gets off the phone, we'll find out who our winner is tonight. Whoever it is rather talkative, apparently.
It's all good.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We love when people talk. That's what we get paid to do.
This ain't like radio. We can just sit here. Nothing happened. We don't have to keep thinking. There's no such thing as dead air. Yeah. Even though it is scintillating Facebook Live content, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Very riveting, straight edge journalism right here.
Yeah. So we'll tell them. He's telling them right now what the deal is. So we got Alyssa Vascocu's coming up. Oh, Gary Smith's coming up first. Alyssa Vascocu, and then Chris Woods. Chris has already been on here, so we know he's available. Who won?
Michelle Causey, I think she said her name.
Michelle, what was her last name?
Causey, I think.
Did she spell it for you?
She did. Causey.
Okay, Michelle Causey.
I also got the best number to call her back on, and I think I got part of her address, but she was cutting in and out, so I got what I could.
Okay, that's good. Michelle Causey, that's
Mary
cool.
on the line now? Mary Smith?
Gary, yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, not Mary, Gary.
Gary. I got to do this quick.
Oh, we're about ready to go. Oh, we got to do results.
Yeah, but I got to get them on the line.
Oh, that's right. We got to do results. Now, here's what we want to do. We've already done NASCAR, so we don't have to fool with that. So you come in and talk about Tacoma. Did you look down and make sure you can pronounce everybody's names right?
Terry Calhoun, Austin Kinsey.
That's Jerry Bice.
Oh, Bice.
Bice, yeah. And here is Livonia. They ran on Friday night. That was Carolina Clash. And I'll do Winder because I need to talk about something that happened at Winder, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. How much time we got?
None.
Oh, stand by.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap. Presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And it's time for a little racing results right now as well. Our racing results tonight. Here's Stephen Newbold.
So we'll start back off with Toccoa. We got the limited late models. Brady Cornett was your winner. 602 late models was Frankie Beard. Modified Street is Billy Buffington, I'm sorry. And Stock 8 is Douglas Stewart. Open Wheel Modified is Joe, I'm going to probably butcher this. Is it pronounced Caples? Caples. Oh, well, that's a whole lot easier than I thought it was. Stock 4 is Jamie Massey. And the Toccoa Pro Trucks is Terry Calhoun. Front Wheel Drive is Austin Kinsey. And 602 Charger is Jerry Bice.
Bice, that's correct. Okay, now let's go ahead and hit Livonia.
Okay, let's get to Livonia.
They had Carolina Clash in at Livonia, so here we go.
Yes, the Carolina Clash Super Late Models. Your winner was Zach Mitchell. 602 Late Models is Devin Morgan. Modified Streak is Andy Stewart. Stock 8 is David Dove. Stock 4 is Jamie Massey. And Front Wheel Drive is Preston Kelly.
Yeah, so a lot of those names you've heard before because many of them are multiple-time winners already this year. They've been had a great season for some of them. We talked to you about Winder Bear Speedway with Dink McKee and got the win in the limiteds after he made that bold move. So congratulations to Dink. He was last week's guest on the program. Chris Woods is going to be joining us tonight. He won the 602 Hobby last week. I think it was last week when he won both races, limited and 602. So we'll be talking to Chris about that coming up. Chad Puckett won the Modified Street. Chad also got the win in the Stock 8. T.J. Edwards was flagged the winner. A little bit of a problem there, and it was awarded to Chad Puckett. Austin Brumbelow, as we've already had on the program, won the Stock 4A. Mikey Rico won the Stock 4B, and the Front Wheel Drive, Joel Cabe, was the winner there. So that's the results from this past weekend. Now we got a big race coming up this weekend, and it is the Classic Vintage Racing Series coming to Toccoa Raceway, and Gary Smith is with us right now. Logan, you got him on the line?
Yeah, he's all ready to go.
Yeah, Gary Smith is with us right now. Gary, how are you, man?
Hello, Charles. I'm fine, buddy. You?
I am doing great. I tell you what, my heart goes out to the car that you drive. Bud Lunsford was my hero from the time I was probably 4 years old or 5 years old. Got to work with him, of course, in the tower at Lanier, and just spent so many years working for Bud, and it was just a dream come true. And you've got the car. Tell us about that particular car.
Well, this car was actually one of Bud's cars. It got really, it's probably the worst wreck Bud ever had. There's pictures out there that you can see of it. And a good friend of mine and yours, Jerry Williams at Cornell, he put this car back together and made it kind of a show car, and got involved in the NVRA and was racing the car. But he had the 41. He and Buck were really close. And but anyway, I bought the car from Jerry, and Bud was one of my idols when I was growing up, going to Toccoa at 5 and 6 years old when they opened the track with my dad, and anyway, never got over that, but I always thought the car should be a 49. So when I bought it, I put it back, and I got Kenny Collins to do the numbers on it, and he did it old school, like it was hand painted, and put it back to like it was Bud's car.
Well, now let me ask you.
We used a photograph of Bud on the track, and that's what Kenny used to put the numbers on the car.
Well, do you know why Bud had number 49? I asked him that one time, why he had 49. Do you know the reason behind that?
Well, I read the story, and I can't recall it now, but I know you know it more than I do.
Well, yeah, I wrote the story, so
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but Bud told me, he said that of course the Gold Rush was in 49, the Gold Rush in Dahlonega, and because of I asked him one time, I said, why was your car gold? And he said, because you can't get any better than gold, and the 49, that's the reason he ran that car. Now, the car you have is the one that he had that massive wreck over in Cumming, right?
It sure did. And that was, as far as I know, that was the only only two-tone car he had. It was gold and white.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the old photographs, but anyway, it was really demolished. But Jerry found that body, and anyway, and Speedy Evans had a lot to do with it, and but anyway, that is the original body on the chassis now that I race.
Yeah, Bud told me about that wreck. He said he almost got killed in that wreck. I mean, that was a devastating wreck.
That's, as far as I know, that's the only time he got injured in a race car.
And he told me, he said, I had to prove to myself. He said, I was in the car the next week and won. And he said, Speedy worked his fanny off to get that car back together so he could race it. But he said, I didn't have to prove to the other competitors. I didn't have to prove to the fans. He said, I had to prove it to Bud that I could get back in that car and race again. And that was a tough thing. I mean, he took it on the chin in that one. That was I think he had a broken leg, and I forgot what all happened to him. But he got back in the car and raced and won the next weekend.
Yep, you got to get back on the horse that threw you.
Yeah. So now the Classic Vintage Racing Series, that is a kind of a new deal, but it's kind of hard to say it's a new deal when you're racing 30 and 40 model cars. But it is a new organization that some guys have put together, and you're going to be at the reunion at Banks County on Saturday, and y'all are going to have a procession back to Toccoa on Saturday night and race those cars Saturday night. And you don't just get out there and have an exhibition and show those cars; y'all race them.
Well, I don't know how many people your listeners were at Weiner the other night, but we it gets pretty serious. And I don't know how many people realize that these aren't only vintage cars; these are vintage drivers. Woody Calloway ran second to me just barely, but between the two of us, there's 150 years there. We're both 74 years old, so. And still getting it done, but it's just a passion. I'll tell everybody it's like an egg-sucking dog. You know, you never get over it. I've quit racing 4 times in my life.
Yep, and they say it's the only addiction that there is no rehabilitation center for, right?
You're right. You can't take anything for it. Your wife can't cure you from it. You just you can't get over it. And you and I have talked at the old Banks County reunion. We go back to when I started driving, my dad had old cars, old Skeeter cars. I laid under those things, and that's how I learned what I know about them. But the Hartwell Speedway, when it opened, and you were a crew member for Horace York.
That's right.
And I raced the first race over there, and everybody that, as far as I can remember, that crew you were on the post office wall.
We're the only crew that got suspended for Hartwell for fighting for life. Yeah,
that's what I mean. They were, y'all were a pretty bad outfit, but anyway, that and some of my most cherished trophies now and awards are from the Hartwell Speedway opened in '69, and the Dixie Speedway opened in '69.
Right.
A lot of tracks opened in that year.
Yeah,
and but I won the 50th. With the Vintage Series, I won the 50th anniversary race at Hartwell and the 50th anniversary at Dixie.
Wow.
The good old days at Dixie. And anyway, but that's some of my most cherished mementos I have in my shop wall.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Gary, we want you to hang on a minute. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back for some more, okay?
You got it.
Gary Smith, driver of the number 49. Boy, how many times have I said that about Bud Lunsford? Driver of the 49. Joining us on the program. Got more to come right after these messages. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Saturday night, Toccoa Raceway is back in action. This week, come help Toccoa Raceway celebrate its 69th anniversary. A special meet and greet with the drivers as well as racing from the Classic Vintage Racing Series. The local racing program includes the limited late models, the 602 late models, the modified streets, the open wheel modifieds, the 602 Chargers, the stock 8s, the stock 4s, the Toccoa Pro Trucks, and the front wheel drives. That's racing Saturday night, celebrating the oldest dirt track in Georgia at Toccoa Raceway. Racing begins at 7.
When you're a get-the-job-done kind of guy, the type of truck you get behind matters. It needs to be tough, trustworthy, and above all, it needs to be a Ram. America's longest-lasting pickup trucks and trusted by more than get-the-job-done type of guys than any other truck on the road. Take advantage of the Ram clearance sale right now. All Rams in stock sold below invoice at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Highway 129 Cleveland. The best price every time, period.
The Addison Agency is your one-stop for all your insurance needs. Home, auto, life, commercial, farm, and annuities. They're the insurance agents for Debbie and me. You can find them in Toccoa at Design Point. That's just across Rose Lane from Coates and Clark. See Daryl, Bonda, Colby, or Mary Ann for the best quotes from Auto Owners Insurance. Call them tomorrow morning, 706-886-1247. The Addison Agency is our insurance agency. Make sure they're yours, too.
If you're looking for late model used car parts, look no further than Peach State Auto Parts on the Royston Highway in Cannon. That's in the Gold Mine community on Highway 29 between Hartwell and Royston. Scott Heumann and his staff also buy scrap metal, copper, and aluminum cans. They will pick up your junk cars for free. If you need roll-off bins or containers for business or construction, call on Peach State Auto Parts and Recycling. Call Scott today at 706-245-4407. That's 706-245-4407.
Mid-South Cage Equipment is one of the largest builders of poultry houses in the Southeast. At Mid-South, they welcome your questions about new technology in the poultry growing industry. From construction to final equipment installation, Mid-South Cage Equipment is your one-stop shop for the poultry grower. Chore time bins and augers, Ziggedy drinking systems, and cool air handling systems are just a few of the top brands available at Mid-South Cage Equipment on Highway 29 north of Royston.
To the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And Gary Smith is our guest right now. Gary, we got about 30 seconds left. Steve Newbold's got a question for you.
Okay. Mr. Gary, tell us about who works on your car with you.
Well, I guess my wife is my main helper, but I got a good friend, longtime friend down in Comer, Georgia, Johnny Bridges, that he helped me along with the car, and then I got Johnny Pruitt that does my engine work, and Brent Carey. Brent and I work together. We have two vintage cars that Mr. Massey owned, the car he drives. But anyway, Brent and I work together. We got a little Chevy too that Brent drives, and anyway, I want to pay homage to Mr. Freddie, and I lost a good friend, Ray Brooks. Not this year. So anyway, we all grew up together racing.
Yep.
And anyway, everybody knows them, and we miss them.
Yep. Gary, well, listen, we appreciate you being on the program. Look forward to seeing you Saturday night. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us and recounting a little history.
All right. Anytime.
We appreciate it. All right. Thanks. Gary Smith.
Thank you, Charles.
Yes, sir. Gary Smith has been our guest, and we were sharing a little story a while ago, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Here's Colin Ray to tell us about that same kind of thing. Listen to this. He's on My Country 99.3 WCON. Yeah, that's my story.
All right.
So now let me tell you my story.
That transition was perfect.
I was telling Steve this story a while ago, and he said, you got to share that, man. People got to hear this. So I was announcing a race at 106 Speedway. How many of you remember 106 Speedway? We used to run on Sunday afternoons a lot there. And the Turner brothers that own that, by the way, they owned the track in Cumming where Bud had such a bad wreck. They built that racetrack there. Then they built 106 in Toccoa. And they used to love horses, so they had horse racing. And on the verge of the Kentucky Derby, I think this is kind of apt. So right after a Stock 4 race, we had a horse race. So I'm down there interviewing the driver of the Stock 4 race, and his car is overheating. And if you know anything about the way that overheating cars do, they've got a tube that runs from the overflow down inside the front fender. And so as I was interviewing in Victory Lane, a big puddle, we were just right on the front straightaway, a big puddle of water emerged on the racetrack. So we're talking about his car overheating and so forth. So the next thing up was the horse race. So the guy wins the horse race, and I'm down there talking to him about his horse race and about telling me what kind of horse you got. You know, I don't know anything about horses, but anyway, I'm acting like I do. And all of a sudden his horse starts peeing and creates this big old puddle on the racetrack. And I said, apparently his horse is overheating. So you never know what's going to come up or come out of somebody's mouth when you're interviewing people.
Yeah, some of the interviews I've done at AMP, interviewing people, so I can get this out of the way. Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
since you're texting me and saying, hey, say hi. So I've said hi, Mom.
Yeah, we saw her name come up a minute ago. So hi to all the moms out there who are watching. Do you know that we have like 56% female viewers versus male viewers?
That's actually kind of shocking. I mean,
really?
kind of with our demographic on the LRR show, How It Laps Liberty, our demographic is mostly younger people.
Really?
And then
that doesn't mean females can't be young.
Well, you're not wrong. But it's mostly younger males. But then we have a jump, and it's like my grandparents' age, and it's all females.
But you know why I have a lot of female listeners is because I don't talk about what brake caliper are you running or what's your setup. We don't talk a lot of racing. We talk about families. We talk about how were you feeling whenever you did such and such. We talk about the story behind it, not just the nuts and bolts. This is not a nuts and bolts kind of show. You got to go somewhere else for that.
Now, Charles,
Frankie, I know. I was going to mention Brant and Frankie Williamson. I was going to mention y'all to Gary. Oh, what?
20 seconds. We got Alyssa on the line.
Oh, we got Alyssa on the line. Okay,
Yeah.
we got to act like we're on radio. Anyway,
Act professional.
All right, act professional. So let's get in line, people.
Okay.
T-minus 10.
Remember, it's Alyssa Vascocu.
Vascocu.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll try it on air.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap. Presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And we got our next guest on the line, I think. Logan, who do we have?
Alyssa, I'm not going to try to say that last name.
Yeah, Alyssa Vascocu is joining us on the program right now. You know, I tried to avoid that for a lot of years, too, and I finally just had to bite the bullet, and I said it wrong until I said it right. So Alyssa Vascocu, one of my favorite drivers, is on the line with us right now. And Steve Newbold is here. You know Steve, too, don't you, Alyssa?
I do.
Yeah. Well, listen, it surprised me. I was watching the video since I'm no longer at AMP anymore. I've retired. It surprised me when I looked out and I saw that pink driving suit leading the pack. And I said, is Alyssa back? And they said, yeah. So I was excited that you went back for the CKNA event.
Yes, sir. It was a great event. I loved racing with everyone, especially being so close, not having to drive so far up to Jacksonville and all over the place. But, I mean, I had a great time. I mean, it was a great experience, more seat time.
Well, have you been following that circuit? Is that where you've been over the last year we didn't see you an awfully lot at AMP because you were out traveling around, right?
Yes, sir, I was. I tried to stay as close as possible. I'm not going to do much of the North Series or anything, but I'll go up to Jacksonville and South Carolina at some point.
I got you. Where do you race in South Carolina? What track?
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Oh, okay. You go up North Carolina for Charlotte. I got you. Okay. And I know that you have been, you have had some classic battles with so many drivers. We have seen you get back to third or fourth in a race and find your way to claw back up front. What do you attribute your tenacity to? Is it hereditary, or is it like, I want to prove that this girl can outdo the boys, or what do you think it is that makes you such a winning race car driver?
It could be a lot of different things. I mean, I like showing my potential because I know a lot of people think it's mainly a guy's sport, and I like to prove that a girl can do it just as well as anyone else can. And I mean, I love the adrenaline, just being able to make as many moves as possible, and then it's the experience, really. I mean, there's a lot that happens in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. You got hooked up with the Roberts folks. You did a test run for them sort of at the end of, was it 2 years ago or last year, whenever you did that? And you kind of in a different cart. How was that experience for you?
I liked it. It was very different. As of right now, I am trying out a new chassis, the RSC1 for Roberts Kart Shop. Beginning of the season, I was dialing it in down in Jacksonville, and just now recently I've gotten it scaled in and getting as much speed out of it as I can.
Oh, good deal. Listen, Al Edwards told me something. He said that all of a sudden he has noticed that all the young guys are trying to get your attention. What's that feel like?
It's different for sure. I mean, a lot of people I haven't seen before coming up to me. They're acting all surprised that there's actually a girl that races. And I mean, I like meeting new people and being able to talk to them. But yes, sir, I have had some young guys in their attention.
And that's CKNA, man, I can't talk right now. Event. You had a posse with you.
Yes, sir. They like my attention off the track, but not on it.
Yeah. Well, now you obviously I think that you've got a great future in the booth and doing commentating and announcing too, that you could do in addition to what you do there. So I don't want you to underestimate the fact that you've got a great career in that if you decide to go that direction somewhere down the road also.
I mean, I've thought about that a little bit. I would like to do it, but as of right now, I have my eyes set on I was wanting to go into the Air Force, either becoming a fighter pilot or going into nursing.
Wow. That's two totally different disciplines. As a nurse, you might get some of those fighter pilots in there to work with at some point in time.
Yes, sir. But I mean, I've talked to my dad about it, about going maybe professional, maybe going into NASCAR, or even going big and going to Formula One. But Air Force has my eye at the moment, and
Wow.
that might change.
Well, I tell you, that's pretty cool. Alyssa, hang on. We got to take a quick break. Come back and talk some more, okay?
Yes, sir.
Alyssa Vascocu is our guest. We got more to come. Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We're on My Country 99.3 WCON. Back after these messages.
The open road, it's filled with twists and turns, hills and valleys, but what lies beyond that open road? A Jeep owner knows, because they can go beyond the road to places that only a Jeep can take them. Right now, you can take advantage of unheard of rebates and discounts at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, with all Jeeps in stock below invoice because Jackie Jones is overstocked with new Jeeps. That's Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cleveland, Georgia. The best price every time, period.
Hey, let me tell you about one of my absolute favorite racetracks, Atlanta Motorsports Park. It's the ultimate motorsports playground. From the high-performance F1 style road course to the challenging extreme kart track, you'll find Atlanta Motorsports Park a facility like no other. The country club atmosphere features not only the performance of the high-powered racing machines, but also a putting green, a great pool area for lounging, and a world-class skid pad to learn how to handle any out-of-control situation. The kart track is a mainstay for those who want to rent a kart for an experience like no other. Check out the schedule of activities at AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com. It's in Dawsonville. Just follow the signs to fun.
Bowling Farm Supply is like a step back in time. Remember when you go to the feed store with your dad or granddad? Well, at Bowling Farm Supply, you can relive those great memories. Of course, they have feed, seed, and fertilizer along with soil, hay, and mulch, but they have so much more. A massive selection of knives, names like case, buck, poker, hen, and rooster, and handmade knives, face jugs, antiques, Zippo lighters. It's more than just a feed store. It's a unique shopping experience. Bowling Farm Supply is located at the corner of Highway 198 and Damascus Road in Homer. Stop in today.
Modern Tire and All-Terrain of Hartwell is all set to equip you with the best tires on the market today. They offer all major brands of tires for your car or truck, as well as your off-road and all-terrain vehicles. They have tractor and farm implement tires too. Brakes, alignments, oil changes, equipment rentals, and roadside assistance are always available at Modern Tire and All-Terrain. Plus, they're your home for truck accessories too. Lift kits and leveling kits available for purchase or installation. And also racing supplies and performance shocks to help the local dirt track racer. Financing is available on all purchases. That's Modern Tire on 293 West Howell Street in Hartwell.
The Baja is back in action this Saturday night. Winder Barrow Speedway is home of some of the best grassroots racing in the South. Scheduled divisions are limited late model, 602 Hobby, Modified Street, Stock 8, Stock 4A, and Stock 4B. Gates open at 4 with racing starting at 7. That's racing this Saturday night at Winder Barrow Speedway. Head to the Baja at 330 Donahue Road in Winder.
Dirt tracks. We're talking racing on the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Alyssa Vascocu is our guest right now, and Alyssa, Steve Newbold has got some questions for you. He's seen you run very recently.
So, Alyssa, you know, we talk a lot. We don't really ask the Victory Lane questions in Victory Lane like this, but, you know, you don't have a lot of space to put stickers on a go-kart, but I'm pretty sure you got some sponsors. Why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
I actually don't have any sponsors, surprisingly.
Wow. Well, then.
I know. I've asked my dad about some sponsors, but, I mean, we don't really go as big as a lot of these national racers do, but I do not have any sponsors.
Well, I'm actually kind of shocked by that. Well, if I remember correctly, your dad does a lot of work for you on your kart, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how much time does he actually put in per race weekend to get your kart ready?
Well, right now, actually, I think starting Tuesday, we started adding weight to the cart to get up to AMP senior weight, and we are still dialing in right now.
So
We take about a week or so.
So
per
where
race.
are you going for your next race? Where will it be?
This weekend up at AMP.
Oh, okay. So you're going for the doubleheader at AMP this weekend.
I'll be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to be in the pink driving suit again and pink helmet?
I sure will. Always.
Alyssa, good luck. We hope it's going to be a great weekend for you. I know you're going to get out front. There's no question about that. Steve, do you have some closing words?
Yeah, hopefully I get to talk to you again in Victory Lane, because that seems to be the thing we go back and forth with the past couple races that you've been up there.
Yes, sir. Hopefully. I'll see y'all up there.
Hey, thank you, Alyssa. It's always good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Alyssa Vascocu, she's going to be there. And you know what she's going to say? Yeah, just like Sawyer Brown, she's going to say, the race is on, buddies. Okay, Here we go. We are back on Facebook now.
Yeah, the timing on those cold starts is tight, so I want to make sure, like,
Yeah,
you're done
you want to
before
make
I
sure
fire
I'm
it.
done. Yeah, completely done. Yeah.
I don't want to get us knocked off Facebook again.
Yeah, right.
Green mean go.
That's why we do this, because on Facebook, if we carry any lyrics whatsoever, they'll kick the show completely off.
Yeah.
Because it's, even though the radio station pays the fees, Facebook doesn't know that, and they've got the bots that kind of watch all that.
Well,
I got a whole show kicked off one night because I played just "I Feel Good" by James Brown. That was it, just those 3 words. And it kicked the whole show off because I played that.
So I'm not going to sing what it is, but...
Oh, you can sing. You
No,
just
I
can't have
cannot
James
sing.
Brown singing it.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always heard you can't even sing, more or less say the words of any Beatles song, because they will come down with a band hammer.
Oh, really?
The fast... I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was a NASCAR broadcast, got fined like $1.5 million for less than a second.
Wow. Do you know that we got fined $20,000 at Peach State Speedway for playing CDs? Everybody does it. You play CDs or you play Spotify or something over the PA system. And the BMI folks were there, and they got fined $20,000.
Oh, wow.
And had to pay then. So we got the ASCAP and BMI are the 2 licensing commercial things for music. And so they bought a BMI license because it was cheaper than ASCAP. So I could only play CDs that were legally done by BMI in order to play those at the racetrack, because they actually had to pay in order to be able to play those, because somebody showed up, and you're not really allowed. It says not for public broadcast, which means if you play a radio station at a racetrack, that's illegal. I mean, it really is.
Did not know that.
You can't play Spotify. If you don't pay for the license, you're not allowed to have any kind of public use of that song by that artist.
That's crazy.
Now, if you're singing your own song, it's okay, but you can't do that. So yeah, we got fined at Peach State. That was a tough deal. That was a lot of years ago. John Huffman owned the track back then, and that was a long time ago. At least he owned Hickory, and he owned like 5 or 6 racetracks. So he split the cost amongst all the tracks. At least it wasn't just Peach State that got the hammer on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what's your racetracks? You got any horror stories from racetracks?
Probably stuff I can't talk about. I've seen some crazy stuff at different tracks. Carts upside down, cars upside down, cars on fire.
Yeah. Oh, and here another thing I'll tell you, and I've told John Matthews this too. Any young driver or young announcer, Will Richard, any of the guys that I've tried to train in the announcing, I've had instances where a driver was killed at a racetrack. And the best thing you can do is just shut up and don't say anything.
Yep.
Because EMTs need to get there. They need to do the work that they need to do on them, and they don't need a bunch of stuff blaring over the PA. Not only that, it is very important what you say, because the most recent one that I was involved in was the one at Hartwell, and something broke on the driver's car. Now, if I had said the driver lost control and went into the pits,
that could have
then everybody in the stands would have just assumed that's what happened. They would have thought the driver was at fault. But because I didn't say that, so you got to be really careful what you say, because what you say is considered gospel.
Yeah, we actually had an incident like that happen actually last weekend with AMP, with an incident in one of my articles. I wrote something that, from my perspective, looked one way, and we actually had the driver reach out to us and was like, "Hey, this is what happened. Here's the in-car footage. This is everything that happened. We got different angles from that perspective." And we actually went back and changed the article to correct it, because, we always want to make it right. We don't want anything, being inaccurate. We try to keep everything as factual as we see it.
Yeah. How do they find Liberty Racing Review?
Oh, Liberty Racing Review. We're available on everything. Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, Instagram as just Liberty Racing Review. You'll see it, the LRR logo, which you can see right here.
Yeah,
except
backwards.
It's a little backwards, but you can find us there. You can find us everywhere. Any racetrack you want to go to in the Southeast here recently, you can find us.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's a great publication, and they do a lot of reporting, and they're everywhere every weekend. If you want to look for asphalt, you want to look for dirt, they got you covered. So that's a good thing to watch.
If it's not between Reed Scott, and myself and JP French, we are always at a racetrack every weekend.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the same racetrack if we get lucky.
Where are we at, Logan?
We got about less than a minute. Chris Woods is on the line. We are
Chris
good to go.
Woods.
Yep.
Woody's on the line with us. Okay. We'll talk with him now, and we're doing Chris, and then we're going into
Chris, and then
Trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Good deal. All right.
TRUBLE.
So we're 47 seconds away. But just make sure. I've had people one time that said, well, listen to the video. Charles Head said he hit him going into the corner. He says he didn't touch him. And, just little things like that where the announcer says something, it may have not happened. You got to be careful what you say. People consider that gospel. Okay, we got to be quiet now. We got to act like we know somebody.
We still got 30
something.
25 seconds.
All right, here we go. 25 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Anyway, this 2 hours has flown by. It has been
it
great.
has.
We appreciate you hanging in there with us. We still got 19 people on live. And but you know what? This start will increase overnight. Thank goodness it's posted on Facebook for 30 days. Also, I have a YouTube channel. Check it out, Champ Racing Show.
Here we go.
Pedal to the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And one of my favorite racing buddies is on the line right now. I think, Logan, who we got?
Chris Woods.
Yeah, my favorite buddy, Chris Woods, is on the line with us right now. Did the double at Winder Bear a couple of weeks ago. He got the win in the limited late model in the 602. He backed it up with a 602 win again this past Saturday night. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Did you kill any big things when you were in Kentucky or wherever it was you went hunting?
No, we were after turkeys. We saw a few. I had a buddy with me. He missed one, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That's why it's called hunting.
You know what? People say turkeys. Gosh, that should be so easy to kill turkeys. It's like hitting a golf ball. People think it's just a little white ball. How can you not hit that thing straight? Well, you ain't never tried it if you haven't done it like that.
Charles, between me and you, I don't play golf because I break the club.
I know. What is it? Mark Twain says golf is a walk in the woods spoiled, and that's about what it is. I never knew how many little yellow flowers and orange flowers there were in the woods till I changed over from white golf balls to yellow and orange, thinking I was going to be able to spot them easy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell me about your 2 wins. You got 2 in a row the other night. I've been waiting on that to happen, and it finally did. And lo and behold, you were out of town when I tried to interview you about it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, we've been fortunate this year. We got 6 wins already, and
wow,
looks like it's kicked off to be a good season. And I can't thank Brian and Heath and all our boys and his sons are really helping us now. And it's just me and Brian really clicked together. So it's going great so far.
Well, let me ask you this. We were all devastated last year when James Foster died, and everybody wondered, how are things going to go? But with Brian kind of taking control of that, y'all never really missed a beat, did you?
Well, we missed a couple of weeks, and I really didn't know which way to go. I was so upset about it, and I really thought about hanging it up. I might get emotional talking about it, but I was really going to hang it up, and Brian, he called me one night, and he said, we're just not going out like that. He said, you ready to race? I said, yes, sir. I've been waiting on you to call.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I admire Brian for stepping in there, to have the knowledge that James Foster had of all the people that he worked with over the years, and to have that knowledge and to be able to pass that on to Brian. I'm just so proud of him for stepping up and taking back over again.
It's amazing to watch him do what he does with those race cars. James was methodical, on his maintenance and his instruction. Them guys, I used to win 1 or 2, 3 races a year, and with them we win 20 and 30. Yeah. We won 22 races last year. It's just incredible.
Unbelievable.
But
wow.
Brian is more. He'll step out of the box a little more and be more. He's more aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's really, and that's my style of driving. I'm aggressive. Sometimes I rub people the wrong way, and I'm sorry. I just want to win. I want to win.
Well, let me mention this, and here's something that I know happened to me. My daddy died when I was 21, and he was in woodworking business, cabinet shop, and so forth. And I found later years I would go to the shop and I just kind of sit there and try to figure out how to do something, and it would come to me. It was almost like Daddy spoke to me and told me how to do it. And I wonder if Brian's had that same experience, just wondering what to do, and all of a sudden it just kind of come to him as to what to do, and you kind of feel like that's James's leading maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for Brian on that point. I feel like he's there with us all the time, but I know when I'm in that car, some of the things I do wrong, he always gave me, like, if I did good, James didn't show a lot of emotion, but he would give you a thumbs up, or that's, you barely got those, but when you did something wrong, you come up the hill and he'd look at you out the top of his glasses, and I was almost scared to come up the hill or come in the pit sometimes, because I was like, he's really going to be mad at me.
Yeah, but if he gave you that thumbs up and smiled at you,
it was worth all of it.
Yeah.
It was worth it every time. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, hang on a minute. We're going to take a quick break, come back and talk some more, okay?
Yes, sir.
Chris Woods. Our guest, driver number 17. We're going to be back talking with him again in just a few moments. It is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We are My Country 99.3 WCON.
For all your welding and safety equipment needs, it's Safety Plus in Cornelia. Wendell and Pat Norden can supply you with the best equipment in the industry. Miller and Lincoln Welders, Victor torches, gloves, fire extinguishers, and personal protective equipment, all in stock at Safety Plus in Cornelia. They have everything to keep you and your work environment safe and under control. Safety Plus is located on Cannon Bridge Road. Safety Plus, a proud sponsor of racetracks and drivers in our area.
I just got to tell you about the folks at J&C Auto Care in Toccoa. My truck was blowing oil all over the place. Well, I took it to several places who just couldn't figure out what was going on. But Jason and Clay knew exactly what to do. And you know why? They've been voted the best repair shop in Toccoa 2 years running. They're locally owned and operated. Check them out at 70 Mize Road in Toccoa. J&C Auto Care.
M&M Used Cars in Jefferson has a great selection of late model full-size trucks. Check out their extensive truck inventory. Full-size diesel and gas models from which to choose. If you're looking for a low-mileage, late-model, full-size truck, chances are they have exactly the one meant for you at M&M Used Cars. Check out the extensive inventory at MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. That's MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. Or stop by at 1312 Washington Street in Jefferson and see them in person. Apply for credit right on the website. 24-hour chat available as well. M&M Used Cars in Jefferson. El Patron Family Mexican Restaurant wants to thank all their loyal customers who have made them the #1 family restaurant in Cornelia. El Patron offers the finest in Mexican dining, from their all-you-can-eat crab legs on Mondays to Thursday trivia to Sunday family time. El Patron is there to please. Outstanding customer service is what has made El Patron Habersham County's choice for 12 years. Come enjoy the atmosphere and the food at El Patron Family Mexican Restaurant on Historic Highway 441 across from Billy Kane Ford in Cornelia.
If you want him dead, call Fred. I've been saying this for years. That's because Fred Justice and the staff at Justice Exterminating can make your home pest-free. Justice Exterminating is your local full-service pest control company, serving all of Northeast Georgia. Debbie and I had huge problems. Bugs, roaches, rats, we had them all. Till Justice Exterminating came on the scene. They handled our pest problem in no time flat. We wouldn't go a single month now without our visit from Justice Exterminating. Give them a call today for a free inspection. 706-968-8519. Justice Exterminating will get you pest-free, I promise. Remember, if you want them dead, call Fred at Justice Exterminating.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And Chris Woods is our guest after his big win at Winder Bear this week, and also the other wins he's had, including 2 in a same night. That was a pretty cool deal. Hey, Chris, Steve Newbold is here. He's got some questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hi, Mr. Chris. Got a question. Tell us a little bit about your sponsors.
We got Southeast Miscellaneous Erectors, which is our steel erection company, Taylor's Iron, Fab Company, Renegade Fuels, Modern Tire and Wheel, Joey Dorsey, really need to say about Renegade again, because they're a big sponsor of ours, and they help us with our fuel a lot. And I really can't think of all of them, honestly.
Well, that's a good problem to have. You've already mentioned Brian and Heath. Is there anybody else that works on the car with you?
Yeah, both Brian's boys, Bryce Lucas, and then we got a couple guys that help us. Josh, he's been with me 3 or 4 years. He comes when he can. He works at Georgia Power, so he comes when he can come, and that's about it. That's about it for us.
Chris, what about this weekend? Where are you going to be, back at Winder again?
Yeah, if it don't rain, we're watching the rain, so
yeah,
probably be back there. I kind of wish a track would race on Fridays more often. I'd love to race every weekend. We're me and David McCoy, we were real close, and he had a record season one year and had 46 wins, but it was back when they raced 2 cars a night.
Right.
Sometimes 3 nights a week. Yep. They would race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, we had 22 last year just racing on Saturday, so wow. I just wish there was another track that could run on Fridays all the time, so we'd have a place to race. And I know we'd be in attendance if we could, swing it with it work and all, but we'd love to try.
Well, I was going to tell you this. McCoy was hoping to be my co-host tonight, and we were going to surprise that on you. But David, he's got so much going on with his Coltman Farms team, he just wasn't able to make it, so Stephen stepped in to be our co-host. But it was going to be McCoy, so I was hoping to get him and you together on the show. That was what we're hoping for. But anyway.
I'm so proud of David. He has really moved up in the field, and he's getting better and better every week.
He is.
And, everybody was down on him at first because he wasn't getting the finishes, but that's a different world, that's a whole different ball game. And he's really stepped up to the plate. He's getting better and better every weekend, strong finishes.
Yep.
So all of us McCoy fans, we're out here. We're rooting him on,
Excited for him. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, thanks so much, man. Good luck if you get to race again this weekend, and we'll check you out soon, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Chris Woods, our guest. We got more to come on the Jackie Jones Show, like this one from Travis Tritt. Yeah, how do you spell trouble? Travis spells it, I guess, the right way, Trouble. Here comes Travis Tritt on My Country 99.3 WCON. Now, a lot of folks say you spell trouble Charles. No, not really. Anyway. Oh, golly. So we were talking about your history in racing. Tell everybody a little bit about how you started. When did you first get excited about going to a racetrack?
Let's see. Let me think. Probably Airport Mini Speedway in Jasper with Mr. Pageant. When Mr. Pageant was still alive, and he ran and operated that track with him.
Now, when you say mini speedway, what does that mean?
Oh, it was a kart racing track.
Oh, kart racing track.
It was a kart racing track. I can't remember
what did you say, Logan?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page as far as our closing here is concerned.
Yeah, we got to do upcoming.
Yeah, we're going to do upcoming. So what I've decided, what we're going to experiment with a little bit is we got that Travis song playing right now.
Okay.
And then after that, it's just going to sweep straight into Aaron Tippin. Then we're going to go into a break, come back, and you'll do the close, and then you'll do the results upcoming, and then we'll fire the close.
Okay, so we're going to do upcoming, and then just go straight into the close.
Yeah.
And I'll just point to you, and I want you to close.
Yeah, I think that'll make it run a
Okay,
little
so you're going to do Aaron Tippin after Trouble.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, that sounds good.
We're not going to have to come back and say that. It'll just go on its own.
Good.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Again, behind the scenes stuff, folks. All right, so now, so you started out in Jasper watching races. What ages?
Oh gosh, I started. My father used to take me to all kinds of races, but he really got the emphasis on the Purple Plate division at Airport Mini Speedway. Okay. I was probably 5 when I took my first laps, if I can remember correctly. Trying to think of. I think one of my only competitors was probably Chase Elliott at the time. That was the only other person that was around my age that was running in our area. I mean, racing really wasn't, as big in Jasper as it is now. I mean, you got Chandler Smith coming out of Talking Rock. You got all these other drivers coming from North Georgia.
Corey. I mean, look at all the Georgia drivers: Corey Heim, Austin Hill, Seth Christensen.
Yeah,
I mean,
Seth.
Look at the guys that are just showing the way in either late models or NASCAR right now. Corey Heim's behind the wheel of the 43. I guess again this weekend.
Yeah, I think
they said
so.
Until Eric Jones comes back, and I don't think Eric's ready to go yet.
He got cleared, but I don't think he's coming back this week.
Yeah, I think, and they had made the point last week. Corey Heim's going to be in that car. He is the guy. They're not going to switch a bunch of folks in and out.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool to watch. Corey, I remember watching him at some of the local tracks years ago.
Yeah.
But
and Chandler's done extremely well. I had a Chandler on a show not too awfully long ago about his rise in NASCAR. And Ryan Sieg.
Yep.
Ryan Sieg has done great. I thought he was going to win that Xfinity race the other day. Man, he was so close. I've been waiting to have Ryan on the show after he wins one. So close.
But, I would say probably Airport Mini Speedway I was about 5, and then a long hiatus, and then I was about 14, 15. And a friend of mine was like, hey, did you know there's a go-kart track in Dawsonville? I was like, do what? And we went out there, and this was back when it was just run the C-track configuration. And I was like, I got to figure out how to work here.
Yeah.
So maybe a year later, maybe less than that, I went for an interview, and that's kind of where my start in motorsports actually really started was there.
I tell you, folks, literally, if you've never been to Atlanta Motorsports Park, you got to check it out. They run during the day. They've got lights now, but they haven't done any night racing yet.
That's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. But anyway, you go up there during the day, and then you can still hit. I used to announce there during the day, and then still hit Toccoa or Livonia or Hartwell to announce on Saturday nights. It's not that far down to Dixie. You can still do that too.
No. That's like an hour.
Yeah.
An hour drive.
So, matter of fact, we were in Woodstock the other day, where Dixie Speedway is, and Debbie and I left Woodstock and drove up to AMP, and I was just going to show her the track. I forgot the CKNA was running that day. And it's so funny. Debbie said the yellow hat is like an all-access pass. I had my yellow hat on. Here's my yellow hat. I had it on, and we just drove right through, and it got to a point where it said carts only, and we just kept on driving, drove all the way up to the tower, and where we weren't supposed to be, turned around right there at Eyes Up Racing. I mean, at the very end of the road.
Yep.
And like Debbie says, the yellow hat's all access. Nobody ever stopped me. Nobody said a thing.
Go.
Said, come on through. So you were telling me Jack Rambo totaled a $250,000 race car last week.
I don't know if he necessarily totaled it, but he did do some serious damage. I know that the front end of that car is all carbon fiber.
Yeah,
and
the whole car's carbon fiber.
I couldn't tell you the exact monetary value of the damage that happened with that car. From my general understanding, he was going into the carousel, and I don't know if he just didn't hit the apex right, and he just caught it just right and spun himself around, but it put him facing back oncoming traffic. And I mean, cars were dodging him left and right, and I don't know, somebody got hit from the rear, and then everybody just kind of stacked up. It was a total of 4 cars.
Well, you rarely see a wreck with multiple cars in it at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Usually it's just like, a 4 off, a 2 off, nothing crazy.
Or hit a deer.
Yeah, Rambo again.
Yeah, we've seen the deer. Yeah,
that deer did.
It was so funny because Greg was right behind him. Anyway, I'm trying to think who it was that was behind him.
Greg Abbott, maybe?
No. I've forgotten who it was, but he said the deer went over him, and he thought it was the hood off the car in front of him, and it was the deer that went over him.
That was in turn 14, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in turn 14, yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing all about it, and then...
I was announcing that. We looked at it and said, what was that? And then all of a sudden we ran it back and said, oh, it was a deer. We don't want to show that.
No animals were harmed in making it.
That's the hardest thing. As an oval track announcer, that was the hardest thing to say. Coming out of turn 16 to the checkered flag. It's always been turn 4 to the checkered flag. Unless I was at Concord, and I announced at Concord Motor Speedway, and I didn't know whether... I asked him, I said, is this turns 1, 2, and 3, or is it turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6? What are they coming out of?
Yeah,
I never know.
Your configuration.
Yeah. What are we doing, Logan?
We still got 30 seconds left on that Aaron Tippman song. We're going to go straight into the stop set for about 2.5 minutes.
Okay, so we're doing upcoming. Where's my upcoming sheet?
As
Where's
where's
my sheet? Here we are. Okay, I got it.
We're doing the upcoming after the stop set.
Oh, we got an upcoming. Okay,
Yeah.
but do I introduce the stop set, or are you going straight into it?
We'll just go straight into it.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah, we still got some time. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Again, behind the scenes, folks. Oh gosh. Anyway, so at Atlanta Motorsports Park, that has been the bulk of what you've done so far.
Yeah, we do a lot at Montgomery. Big shout out to Stan if you're listening.
I was the track announcer at Montgomery for a whole season.
Oh, really?
I drove down. Yeah, I'd do the races on Saturday night. They'd put me up in a hotel, and I'd come back on Sunday.
That's crazy.
And Montgomery, when I used to be there, before they redid the tower, they had really had a pitched roof, and they just built the tower on top of the concession stand, and you had to stand at a pitch the whole night, and your back was just worn out because you stood on that pitched roof. It wasn't flat. It was just horrible, and you couldn't put a Who's watching? Oh, Reed. Yeah, yeah. Montgomery is a great racetrack. I was announcing there before they put walls around it. This is a long, long time ago. We had a fire. We did a truck race down there one time, and one of the trucks caught on fire, and they had to actually wrap a chain around the truck as it was burning and drag it off the asphalt to keep burning the asphalt, because it took 45 minutes for a fire truck to get there. It was just
that was
horrific.
back in the day.
Yeah, and our TV guy, he was on a scaffold. The driver, it was Randy Gilbert in his truck. Randy got out of the truck. He wasn't hurt at all. And the only guy that got hurt was our guy that was on a scaffold running the camera in turn number 1, and he jumped off the scaffold. He thought the truck was coming to hit him.
Oh, no.
And he broke his leg. So that was the only injury, but it was not a racing injury.
Ow. That
we were at Montgomery doing a race one night, and we had tornado alerts, and we had to put the race off until Sunday. So we've had tornadoed out. First time I'd ever been tornadoed out at a racetrack, and that was at Montgomery.
Montgomery gets really entertaining, especially when it rains. Me and Reed we like to call it Lake Montgomery.
Yeah, that's a great place.
In the infield, especially if it starts really, really raining, and it just stays there, and it makes it for a very interesting race weekend.
Yeah, and Stan's done a great job there. He has really
Stan
built
has done
that.
Amazing.
Stan Nareson's a great guy. He's been a guest on the program many times. We go back to the Lanier days, a long time ago, and Stan has just done a tremendous job. Very proud of him. Yeah.
So we are on our penultimate spot in the stop set now.
Penultimate? I like that word. Yeah, how about that?
So once the stop set's done, I'll fire the intro. You start talking, and as soon as you want me to fire the Champ Show close, point at me.
Okay, yeah. Logan pulling out the dictionary, the thesaurus tonight with penultimate.
Oh, yeah.
Penultimate.
All right. Oh, I remember introducing the field in Atlanta one time, and I said, from wherever it was, from Indianapolis, Indiana. And I realized I put an extra D in, and I felt like such a fool for saying Indiana. Oh.
Happens to everyone.
Adds flavor.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
You do that. Oh, I was going to tell you what I said at Livonia that night that was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you. I can't even do this on Facebook. I'm sorry, folks, but I'll tell him.
T-minus 8.
All right. 8 seconds. Here we go.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap, presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
It has been an absolute pleasure to have you around tonight. Steve Newbold has been here. Steve, what a great night we've had.
Man, it's been really fun. I need to do this more often.
Yeah, this was fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. Good luck at Dixie Speedway. I'm excited for you.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be an experience. Hopefully this can be a full-time thing.
Yeah.
This is just a trial run this weekend, and hopefully it can keep going.
Say hello to my buddy Johnny Clark when you're over there. Johnny's
a
great announcer, and we talk a lot. We talked just a couple of weeks ago, as a matter of fact, before the season started. So Johnny's a great guy, and he's going to be good at helping you out over there. So let's check out what's going on this weekend. Of course, NASCAR is going to be at Kansas. We talked about that. Saturday night, Toccoa Raceway has the vintage cars. That's going to be the Classic Vintage Racing Series. There's going to be an autograph session with the drivers on the track. It's going to be a big night at Toccoa Raceway, so make sure you show up for that. Also, Banks County has their Speedway reunion. The Banks County track was a great place to go watch races back in the 50s and 60s, and they've got a reunion coming up on Saturday during the day. Those classic cars are going to make a procession all the way to Toccoa to race on Saturday night. Winder Bear Speedway is also racing on Saturday night. There's a 2-day show at Atlanta Motorsports Park for karts this weekend, so that's a Saturday and Sunday event. And here's something special I want you to look at. Coming up on June 22nd, it's a benefit car show at the Madison County Fairgrounds. That's in Comer, and that is for a young man named Liam. And so please make plans to attend that as they raise money for Liam. He's got a lot of health issues, and so that's coming up on June 22nd, so make a point to be there for that. It has been the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. Logan Bennett has been here. Great job, Logan.
Pressing all the right buttons at the right time.
Yeah, all the right buttons at the right time. Hopefully we didn't press any buttons tonight.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully we did good. Thanks so much to our guest host tonight that we've had on with us, Steve Newbold. And we will see you next Thursday night. Who knows who the guest host will be next week. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
You've been listening to the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON. Presented by Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. Find more racing news on the Charles Head Facebook page. And join